Hey, everybody. Hello. Ruel, you pushed the wrong button again. There you go.
The wrong button. Hi. That's what the pre-show's for. All the mess ups and whatnot. And
I'm just
you know
glad it was
what?
your mess up instead of mine for a change.
It was totally mine. And what's funny is I'm not even pressing anything. I think my Stream Deck is haunted. I don't know
Oh,
what
you have an
happened.
actual Stream Deck?
Yeah, I have the little thing. Hopefully
Can you put it on screen, or is it not reach?
Yeah, it's.
Or is this too
right
dangerous?
here.
Oh, look, it's such a little. Is it on your phone, or is it a standalone piece of hardware?
No, it's an actual physical Stream Deck. It's a smaller one. It's the one that's 5x3
Okay.
or whatever. And yeah, but I don't know what it is. So yesterday, folks, if you didn't know,
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I stream once a month on my Twitch channel for an extended amount of time. And yesterday, right when I started, my pugs heard the Amazon delivery person, and they ran out to the front door and knocked everything down in my studio. You saw it, Rahdo.
Yes, I did.
Insane.
I was there. I was wanting to see the pugs. I heard them bark. I ran over to my screen so I could see them. I would think it was them making their streaming debut, right? Meeple and Mookie?
They were here last week. They were here last week. Yeah, Meeple and Mookie are the pugs.
But then by the time I got there, they had apparently completely destroyed all of your filming equipment. Two tiny little pugs took you completely offline for like another 15 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, it was insane. I literally had to plug stuff in, plug to unplug. Oh, it was a disaster. But it was fun. We survived. And anyways, folks, welcome to the pre-show. Thank you for joining us. And we've got another great show coming up. And I'm excited to be here as always.
Yes. Hi, everybody. How you doing? To quote Joey Tribbiani for no particular reason at all, because that was certainly hip and topical.
I want to say hi to A Foxy. A Foxy, they say that my sound is a tiny bit out of sync.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
hopefully that'll clear up.
Fix that.
Yeah, I don't know how to fix it on my end. I don't know.
I think they're right. Actually, I'm looking at you, and I think you're just like a millisecond off kind of a thing.
Uh-oh.
So you'll just have to speak through clenched teeth for the entire show, like this, and then no one will know. Problem solved.
Problem solved. Well, should I rejoin the call? What do you think? Would you think that would help?
That would certainly. I mean, when in doubt, reboot, right? Yeah. Why don't you just bail and then come right on back, and maybe that'll fix it. Because I definitely A Foxy said it was fixed, but that was probably speaking through clenched teeth fixed it. I would imagine.
Okay. I will disconnect and reconnect.
Alrighty, I'll be here. All right, where I gotta find the Discord. Alrighty, I'm all by myself. Don't want to be all by myself. Well, he's taking quite a while to come on back. Perhaps he won't be coming back. Perhaps this is it. The line was drawn this. Okay, there he goes. All right. Okay, you're back.
Okay, hopefully that did the trick. We shall see.
I'm looking at you in Discord and you seem fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So hopefully that took care of it. All right, let's bring you on back.
Discord. Okay. Hopefully that works, folks. How's that? How's that look? Hello. Check. 1, 2.
I think you're fine. It looks like you're fine. I think.
Okay. Cool. All right. Thanks, friends, for letting us know. And so, what's going on? What do we have on the docket here? We've got
we have a long list of stuff we still have yet to do. Although, thanks to Nazgoth and Kabuki Kid for resubscribing, getting us ever closer to another RVR. We have figured out what we're going to be RVRing this week, 2 days from now, on Thursday, and all of you will be able to play along, but at a cost. You want to tell them?
Yeah, how much is it? So is it around $5?
I believe it's $5, or maybe it's like $4.99 or something like that.
Yeah, but friends, we are going to be playing Voyages. This is a roll and write game that was recently funded on Kickstarter. It blew up on Kickstarter.
Mm-hmm.
They had like a very small goal, and they went tens of thousands of dollars. It was insane. But it's a lot of people have been talking about it. I actually backed it on Kickstarter, and thanks to you all, I'm going to finally get it off my digital shelf of opportunity here.
Indeed.
I'm going to print out a copy, and we're going to play. You can play along with us this Thursday. Just print out a copy. It will cost you a few bucks, but from what I understand, it's well worth it, and I'm fired up to do it.
Yeah, I'm very excited too. Apparently, we have started the hype train, and I finally figured it out. People's actual Twitch avatars do not show up in the hype train. It's just doing random emojis because the train is being run by my higher level "Hey everybody" emote.
Okay.
But yeah, so folks, for the next couple of minutes, we've hit the level 1 hype train, and if you keep hyping us up, by giving us money. I was just coming out and saying that's what it is. Via bits or subscriptions or what have you. Oh, yes. Bravo, everybody. As Force Glass says, applause to the power of stickers. You will unlock more emotes that you can use for the length of this particular episode. But the train gets bigger. Everybody, Black Echo just got into the front of the train.
All aboard, folks.
Yep.
All right.
And he took a hey, everybody, as well. So it seems to be functioning as intended, so that's very, very nice. What do we? Oh, now we're up 22 of 149. So anyway, yeah, I'm excited to try this. I remember it first came to our attention, the Voyages, because it was one of our. This is a new Kickstarter thing.
Yep.
And it was particularly cool because there's no physical components. This is a game where you paid whatever it was, I think $4.99 or maybe a flat $5, and it's a subscription service. Where, for the foreseeable future, I don't know how long it's supposed to go on, they will be sending out new PDFs that you can either play digitally or you can print out, and it's a new chapter of an ongoing, Pirates, High Seas, Roll and Write kind of thing. And so they have released, I believe they've released the first 4 episodes. The first 3... So you can basically get, a triple level solo, but you can play it bingo style, roll and write right now. And we're going to play the first, maybe the second chapter, depending on how fast it goes. And if you folks want to play along, well, like I said, it'll cost you the $4.99 or whatever to be able to get them. And I think that's really cool. It should be fun. Yeah. And honestly, I found it such a fascinating. I've seen a couple of more campaigns now that have done the same thing. Well, hey, you know what? How about we just make a game and we release it digitally? And because everybody has a printer nowadays, right? Everybody. Right. And roll and writes are just perfect for that kind of thing. So we're going to be giving it a try. You said you have not tried it yet. You've got it, but you haven't tried it, right?
That is correct. Yeah, I backed it. I downloaded the files when it was released, and yeah, it's just sat here. I haven't had a chance to, but this is the perfect opportunity. And I do want to say something else as far as you don't even need a printer, honestly. Like friends of mine who do these things, they just download on their iPad, and then they'll use like a Paint app or whatever, and just circle stuff on their iPad. And you don't even need dice. You can use your app or your phone to do a dice app. So it's awesome. It's such a great way to distribute really these type of games, and you don't need any actual physical components. Now, me being me, I need to roll dice. So
I'm gonna print it out myself. Yeah, totally.
Okay, yeah,
and we'll be rolling and playing. Awesome. But yeah, I think if I recall correctly, on their webpage for this game, they also have a video saying, "Look, here's a half a dozen ways you could play this if you don't have a printer." They just walk you through like what you suggested, just using a Paint program, or I guess there's online web pages that will do the same thing. Right. So that's all pretty cool. I'm looking forward to trying it, and you folks will be able to play along with us and totally crush me and maybe crush Ruel if you're depending on. Because you've been destroying, you've been really kicking ass on all the RVRs so far.
Well, I am working at an advantage just because you're doing the heavy lifting from a production side.
That's what I tell myself. At some point, though, I don't know how well that particular excuse holds up. No.
Wow, this hype train. So it actually physically. It's like way longer now than it was.
Well, yeah. Every time somebody does I see. Oxman, thank you for subscribing, and Black Echo, and Cassandra, and Rare Norb, and Kabuki, and Nazca. Thanks everybody for subscribing. As I understand it, it will just keep getting longer. Although. There's Oxman just showed up. Or maybe it has like a maximum length and then it can't get any longer. If you folks would like to find out, by all means, subscribe now. Did you know that if you're an Amazon Prime subscriber, you can subscribe to this channel for free and avoid ads and get discounts on merch and get the secret word and get a stream avatar and all kinds of fun stuff. And maybe you'll make the train a bit longer. This is the longest it's been so far, I believe. We don't know how big this train can get.
Yeah, we shall see. And folks, just as a special edition, look, I have the analog alert for Hype Train. This is what I do on my
There you go, yes.
Do this. So there you go. That's your bonus right there, folks.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Oh, wow.
So thanks everybody for subscribing and supporting the show. Let's actually get to work. Oh, success. You've collected. Okay, it looks like, we got level 1 emotes have been unlocked, and the train is leaving the station. Bye-bye.
Wow. Thank you, everybody, for the support. Much appreciated. There goes the train.
Yep. That's the high-tech, high-quality entertainment you can come to expect from the R&R Show. Where else on Twitch would you get a train? Okay. Oh, and Flying Dutch Rocker just got himself a temporary avatar with his channel points. All right. It'll show up in a couple of minutes, Dutch, and then you can run around and hug or attack people or just fart if you like. Farting is also an option. I believe I did ultimately add a little sound effect to the fart, but I don't think anybody's farted since I added the sound effect. It's very quiet, though. I think you have to listen really carefully. Let's actually find out. Let's do a mass fart. Oh, if I can
Mass fart. Here we go.
Mass fart. All right, here
Do you
we
actually type in mass fart? That's hilarious.
Yep.
Wow.
There we go.
Oh, that's hilarious. The little clouds.
Yep. All righty.
Oh my goodness.
So, if you like fart humor,
there it is.
There you go. An explosion of farts from everybody's stream avatars. Okay. So yeah, let me look at the list of stuff. We still have some outstanding requests from last week, which is just our normal state of being these days. A top 3 2 weeks ago, Goblin981. I apologize. We're going to do a top 3. Folks, would you please suggest a topic that we could make the definitive list, the 3 best of whatever it might be, and start making suggestions?
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Fun.
And
yeah,
I will start up a queue after Ruel tells me what your suggestions. Top 3 for the...
Okay. All right, folks. Let's have those topics. Let's see. Bing says top 3 tile laying games.
Okay, that's always a good one. I love tile layers.
Okay. Same
What else?
here. Let's see. Top 3 small games with a heavy or crunchy punch. Ooh, I like that one.
Small games, big punch. You have to be very, very short with these poll entries.
Yeah. Okay. Top 3 Star Wars characters.
Star Wars characters, all right.
Thank you, Casson Miller.
Interesting.
This is another take that Nazgoth wrote here. Top 3 non-complex but deep games.
Non-complex but deep games. All right.
Yeah.
Yep, okay.
How are we doing? How many more?
One more.
One more. Let's see. What about... oh, this is interesting. Top 3 underrated roll and writes.
All right. Underrated...
Yeah.
Roll and writes.
Oh, I just missed this one too.
Oh.
JW Specker. I got to shout this one out. The 3 best donuts.
All right. Sorry, Roll and writes. Donuts. D-O-U-G-H-N-U-T-H. I will spell it properly. Unlike what the
you don't do the shortened version. Huh?
Yeah. You do it right or not at all. All right, folks. Start voting. And I know I'm going straight to donuts.
So
vote.
I voted donuts.
And those will probably be the only 2.
Spend points, folks. Don't forget, you can spend points or you can spend bits.
Yep.
Increase your vote there.
Yep. And every bit you spend on this gets us one step closer to unlocking another bonus run through, which we're about halfway towards, and I expect that will be unlocked by the summer.
Awesome. And we got about a minute and a half left.
Oh, wow, donuts are winning because we actually kind of stacked the deck a little bit, I think.
Yeah, and I feel like people are going to wait till the last second and start spending those points to sort of...
Yeah, like we're on eBay or something like that.
Vote here. Yeah. Okay, so we got it. Okay. Non-complex deep games. Ooh, that...
Non-complex deep games.
Great. Yeah. Wow. Small games, big punches. Almost similar to that.
Yep.
Surprised tile lanes.
Nobody cares about Carcassonne. We weren't going to say Carcassonne, I promise. We would have said something other.
On my list.
Well, yeah, fair enough. It'd be Star Wars Carcassonne,
which I really enjoyed.
Did you? I never played it.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Really?
Fun fact, my copy of it, I got it in Japan when Michelle and I went to visit Lauren when she was studying out there. We wandered upon a game cafe out in Japan, in Tokyo, and they had a copy of it for sale. So, of course, I had to pick it up. Let's see. Non-complex...
I think somebody has dropped some major points on that, it would appear, because that shot up like a rocket very quickly. Sorry, donut fans.
Come on, donut fans.
I am so ready to talk about donuts all day long.
So am I.
I could do an hour on donuts, easily. Non-complex deep games? That's hard. You're going to make us work for that hype train.
I'm sweating here. Like donuts, I already know my number 1 donut. Number 2 and 3 are easy.
Oh my gosh, donuts are making a huge monster comeback.
Go, donuts, go. Come on, donuts.
And they pull it out. Jeez. Wow.
Yes.
Well, now I feel really bad for whoever dropped all those points on the non-complex deep games.
Oh.
All right, let's just give one non-complex deep game. Just, I mean, obviously Go is the go-to example for that. That is the ultimate example of, it's so simple and yet it's so deep. You know what I'll say? Probably the most recent hot example of this is Furnace.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, great call.
Yeah.
That's
really deep. So much going on, but the simplest of auctions and engine building.
Yeah. That auction mechanism is amazing. I love that about that game. And oh boy, that whole choice of are you going to do you want that industry or do you just want the resources?
Yep.
Oh, I really like that one. That's a good call. Great call, actually. Yeah.
Well, but regardless, we're here to talk about donuts. Right, I will fight you if you want to go down against what is clearly the greatest donut of all time, the apple fritter. Although I will accept cherry fritter or blueberry fritter or really anything you want to throw in a fritter.
Wow. Apple fritter. I like it. But it's no match for the ultimate donut, the tiger tail.
I need to look up a tiger tail.
Yeah, check it out.
Tiger
tails. Yes.
Tiger tail donut. Alrighty. Let's bring this up on the browser. These things? Really?
They are amazing.
Why? I mean,
when they are done correctly, nothing beats it. It looks like a tiger. Number one, it looks it's cuter than a apple fritter. Apple fritter looks like a bunch of rocks, right?
No, if you're a Star Trek fan, apple fritter is like I'm eating a horta.
A horta?
The silicon life form.
No wonder why you like them. The tiger tail, it's amazing. It's got chocolate. It's got it's like a chocolate and glazed donut in one.
Right, so it's a twisted regular donut with like a stripe of chocolate twisted through.
But here's the secret. The secret ingredient, it's got a little layer of cinnamon on it when it's done correctly. And that bit of cinnamon, oh my goodness, friends, it is the greatest thing in the world. Best breakfast ever. And it's a huge, donuts tend to be sort of small and you need a couple of them for it to fill up. But all you need is one tiger tail and you're good to go for the morning. But that is the number one in my book. But apple fritters, I can't, it's sort of...
I'm broadening it to fritters in general because these days they put all kinds of fruits in fritters.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. I love a donut that is crunchy on the outside and wonderful and fluffy on the inside. I am always looking for that. So my other definite favorite are just straight up old fashions. Because that's what old fashions do too. I don't know, they're baked in or they're fried, I guess. I don't really know. But they're done in such a way that they have that outer shell that is just so pleasant. And then it's just like a fluffy cloud inside. That's always the best kind of donut. Which is why I don't think, from looking at it, I'm interested in these tiger tails. Because it looks like they're just like a regular plain donut with...
No, they're not though. They do have a little bit of that crunchiness you're talking about. When it's done right, the chocolate with the cinnamon will have a little crust there that I love just as much as those old fashions, and that's why it's the greatest donut of all time. But those old fashions, I did not like those back in the day, but I have grown to enjoy them because of exactly what you're talking about: crispy on the outside and fluffy on the inside.
Oh man, that's so good. Yeah. Also really good. Probably the third example of that, in my opinion, would be buttermilk bars.
Buttermilk bars. You know what? I was never a fan of those, but I haven't had one in a while, so maybe I'd have to try it again. But what about the cake donuts, the smaller ones? Like you see them there in the picture, the like plain ones, and they have the cinnamon ones. They have blueberry donuts, which are out of this world. Yeah, I love the blueberry.
Why would I have a blueberry donut if I could have a blueberry fritter?
Because the fritters, I mean, as much as I enjoy the fritters, there's something about, I don't know.
We're looking at our next fight then, although I don't know how we'll make a proper fight out of, fritters are the best.
No,
they're first of all, they're huge. They're a meal in themselves. They're just about consistently the biggest donut you can get at any shop. I occasionally find a shop that do little mini fritters, and those are adorable, I have to admit.
Yeah.
But that is the exception to the rule. Normally, fritters are ginormous. Whoa, Goblin, what the heck are you talking about? Is Goblin arguing fritters are not actual donuts?
Yeah, and Baloo also agrees. Fritters are amazing, but I don't consider
Fritters
them
are very
donuts.
similar to donuts. They're both batter-based, fried desserts. The difference being how each one gets filled. Donut batter gets fried all by its lonesome, and fillings may be piped into them once they're done. Well, versus what do you mean? What's a fritter? What's the difference? What's the difference?
Is there like a cookie? Is it a
While
different
a
cookie
fritter
process?
is a dish made by deep frying food coated in batter. What's the difference? I still don't understand the difference.
Food coated in batter. The same thing, isn't it?
Yeah. I've never
mean,
heard this. This is the first I've ever heard. And
Yeah.
apparently, look at this. There's how many responses did I get?
Wow.
There are thousands of articles discussing this. Apparently, is
Oh
a
my
fritter a
gosh.
donut? Donut versus fritter? No, but I mean, it seems like from this cursory glance, it is officially
Wow.
okay. What did this one just say? It was a cake. Cake.
A cake? Yeah. See now, okay. Now we're gonna have to dive deep in this.
Yeah, this
And
is
I
all
didn't
right.
want to do this afternoon, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to look into this. I always just consider it a donut, but maybe. Wow.
Cake. Therefore, a donut is not a donut if it is deep fried. What? Okay. Is a fritter a donut? Tricky one to answer. There are those who believe it is. The issue: U.S. Food Code, or the FDA, uses the term donut to describe a cake deep fried in batter. The code defines the word as a paste-filled, deep-fried cake covered with a thin batter. Therefore, a donut is not a donut if it is deep fried. What? Am I
What?
reading this wrong? You just said it's deep fried.
That's what I thought.
A
Donuts
donut
were
is not a
fried,
donut
but
if it's deep. You know what? But do you know what an apple fritter is? If you're like me, you may not have ever heard of the sweet treat before. Blah blah blah. The only research I found, there's quite a bit of confusion. It's another word. A fritter is another word for fried. Oh, okay. The word fritter comes from fried.
okay.
It's a fried donut product. The story gets even more complicated. We take into the word apple. What? We have to define apple now? On the
Wow.
surface, it's a donut. However, there are some differences. The apple fritter does not contain a hole. Neither does your freaking tiger tail.
But it's a donut.
Yes,
Tigers are
if
obviously
it's a
donuts.
donut, then a donut without a hole in the center, right? Yeah, nobody says hole is required to be a donut.
I know, right?
It's
Come on.
batter mixed with chopped apple and cinnamon. Corn fritters are wow. I've never had a
Oh,
corn fritter,
okay.
but
Here it
now
is.
I'm interested.
I just found a random site and it said fritters have their fillings folded into the batter before they're fried, whereas donuts you add things afterwards, like like a
Not your
jelly donut.
blueberry regular.
Well,
How? I mean,
yeah. Well,
blueberry. What's the difference between a blueberry regular and a fritter?
yeah, that's true. Now that you bring it up, why
This
the
is
heck?
ridiculous.
Okay, we're going.
Is a
way
dish
off the
prepared by
deep end
deep
here.
frying batter coated food? Yeah, it's this concept of batter coated food. What is a fritter in this context? Kind of fritter prepare. A fritter is apparently a kind of fritter. All right, whatever. Fine. This whole list is totally invalid then, as far as I'm concerned.
Now, Bing brings up classic glaze is best by far. I'm gonna agree, Bing, for one particular donut in one specific donut. The Krispy Kreme glazed donut
No,
is heavenly.
Krispy Kremes are
Is
garbage. Krispy Kremes do
no, but
not
the Krispy
deserve
Kreme,
their
the
worldwide
glaze,
acclaim.
the
I mean, they're
glazed
fine
donut
at
is
best.
perfection. It's perfection. That light
Nah.
glazed. I mean, you do have to eat like 20 of them to get full, but I mean, they're delicious.
All right.
But that's
So what?
I always thought a fritter was-
Is a buttermilk bar a donut then? I'm confused.
Yeah, I don't get that either. That's interesting.
Yeah. Whatever you call them, Forest of Glass is certainly spot on correct. They are all pure evil for the gut and body. Yes, that is
Yeah.
100% correct. They are literally a small version of poison that we are feeding ourselves.
Yeah, and I
Um,
actually like Kabuki Kid's sake. This topic is going on way too long.
All right, well, we'll stick with the tiger tail, and but we'll go with an old fashioned because I'm fine with that as a fallback. My heart
Okay.
is broken though that that a fritter is
I am
not a
shocked.
donut, but
Yeah, I'm
I
shocked.
will. And then what's your not a just a plain glazed? Surely not a plain glaze.
Well, just that specific.
You go into a donut
Krispy
shop.
Kreme.
You've got an incredible array of a million different sizes and shapes and tastes, and you get a plain glazed. Is that what you go in and get? No, it's
No.
not.
No, it's not. What about? Oh man, Well, I picked Tiger Tail. I'm okay with that.
Well,
You
I'm
picked
taking old fashioned. We need a third one.
Old-fashioned.
What does
What
the
can we
audience
agree on?
say? I mean, we haven't even talked about jam filled, custard filled, berry
Yeah.
filled, all that kind of stuff.
But very.
But now I'm worried. Are those I don't know.
Yeah.
My whole world has just been ripped out from underneath me. I've been taking the red pill all this time. The red fritter pill.
Well, here it is. I think Zetarex said it perfect. Keep it simple. Sold in a donut shop, then it's a donut.
I think so.
I think for the most part that's true, but don't forget some donut shops they sell croissants. You know, I can get a ham and cheese croissant, and like that's not a donut.
Yep.
Oh,
I really love a buttermilk bar. I mean they're so
okay
unique. They're so rich. And again, they have that crunch on the outside and the fluff on the inside. They're usually a bit more dense. They are generally, glazed as well. But yeah, I mean, it's just like it's like biting into, a ray of sunshine. Eating those things to me.
I do like that crispy on the outside, fluffy on the inside. I want to shout out my friend Chris. He says Donut Man in Glendora. Yeah, that's here in Southern California. They have some of the best donuts in the world. Especially, they're known for. And actually, if you like apple fritters, their apple fritters are amazing. And I was thinking about their Tiger Tails, but they're infamous for their strawberry donuts, which are basically like strawberry pie in a donut shape.
Oh,
it's
wow.
crazy. Yeah. Oh. Gizmo Bar asks, is a funnel cake a donut? You know what? I don't know where that falls in. I feel like it should be, but again, our world was just rocked about this fritter.
I know. Well, I just did the most popular donut types in the United States. Number 1, glazed. Number 2, the cronut. Have you had a cronut?
Oh, the cronuts. The cronuts are incredible.
Are they? Maybe I just had a bad one. I tried one once. I did not get it.
Really?
I mean, they're croissant donuts, right? They're a mix. Yeah.
So
Number 3 on this list, apple fritter. Number 4, donut holes. The opposite of a donut.
Holes. Yeah, I do like donut holes. I'll give that one. So obviously, no Tiger Tails. People don't know what they're talking about.
Yep. Tiger Tails did not make this list. Bear Claws came in a little bit later. Apple ciders, jellies, old fashions came in the top 10.
Okay.
You know what? I mean, actually, what about we just split the difference and say a lovely cinnamon roll?
Okay.
You love that cinnamon?
A cinnamon roll? Is a cinnamon roll?
It's for sale in a donut shop. Don't take this away from me. An excellent cinnamon roll? Cinnabon does not make donuts, though.
Cinnabon doesn't make donuts.
No, it doesn't.
But then people start bringing up churros, and a good churro I will put up against any donut. A good churro.
Oh, yes. Properly. Those are those, like, crunchy cinnamon stick.
Yeah, cinnamon. Yeah, they're longer.
Yes, those are very good.
Those I'll put up against any donut. Those are incredible. If they're done right.
Well,
I'm still, like, sort of stunned over the whole fritter thing. I feel like we've been lied to our entire lives.
I know. Yep. I'm just going to go with the cinnamon roll, particularly because of my wife's favorite. I'm going to go with a traditional cinnamon roll. I'm going to call it one. A really well-done one that just is drowning in cinnamon. Yeah. All right, we're done. We're done with this sham of a list that is completely rendered invalid by...
I'm so hungry right now. Oh, my gosh.
This is what you get, folks. You should have asked for deep games in simple packages.
Yeah, use those votes next time.
Use your votes responsibly, people. Wow, that's far out. Okay. But that's just the beginning of this wacky show we do, folks. We've got other requests. Let me see what else we have here. Right.
I gotta highlight this comment real quick.
What's that?
Nazgoth says, so I guess donut is the secret word for today.
I think that has been decided. You're right. We have to work. Or fritter.
And we're gonna have to find a way to work it in.
Yep. Yeah. All right, we have one Ruel request, Ruel Ranks request from Brenner last week.
Okay.
So let's get the browser back up with the Gaviola library, and let's go to page 2. I imagine everything on page 2 is ranked, and let's just look at big pictures. Wait, nope, don't start at page 1 again. All righty, let's just go to page 3 arbitrarily. All righty, start picking. You want to rate any of those?
Okay, nah.
And then why do you even own them?
Some of them, they're no longer in my collection. I just haven't updated.
Oh, I see. Oh, you haven't updated. All right, so none of those. What about these?
Let's go Steam Park.
Steam Park.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Move down a little bit. I haven't ranked that. Promenade. Which is now known as Art Deco.
Oh, it got remade into Art Deco?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the original. All right, cool. What else you got?
Yeah.
We'll just do
Let's
3
see.
since there's only one request, and you'll pick the top.
Okay. Cubist.
Cubist.
Wow.
Cubist.
I'm gonna tell you, I forgot I had some of these games in my collection. This is great.
All right, folks, start voting. Which of those 3 things do you want to see ranked? 3 definite flying under the radar, lesser known games. I am almost positive. Isn't Steam Park coming back? Isn't it getting a comeback? Did I see or
Maybe
hear
that's
that
why it's on
someplace?
my mind. Is it? I need to look now. Steam Park.
That was the real time
Yes.
tile land game, right? Yeah,
Correct.
with these things. No, okay, I might be thinking of something
not?
else. In fact, I know what I'm thinking of, and I'm definitely thinking of something else, and it's as yet unannounced.
Ooh,
So,
we can't announce it. Oh,
it's
my
something
goodness.
Steam Park adjacent, but that is going to
Really?
be making a comeback. Although they
Wow.
prefer you not call it a comeback.
Oh, nothing but the latest and greatest in pop culture references, friends.
Yep.
Um,
Exactly, yeah. We have always got our finger on the pulse. It's true. Could I actually
wow,
quote a song from the last 2 years? I don't think I can.
know I cannot. I have to talk to my nieces or nephew to get any kind of new song references. There's no way I can.
This is embarrassing. I don't want to be that old guy. But let's see. I am now looking at the Billboard Top 100 for 2021.
Okay.
I recognize some of these artists' names.
Yeah.
But nope. Nope.
Wow.
Nope. Oh, well, that's fine. I mean, probably the hottest thing I can think of is, oh gosh. Those Pompeii. That song was a big hit like what, 10 years ago?
Yeah.
That's hot. That's Meghan Trainor. Jen listens to a lot of Meghan Trainor, so okay. I could probably do a couple of her songs.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm looking at the top 100 Billboard right now. I know who Harry Styles is.
Yeah, I know who these people are, but
yeah. Oh, Justin Bieber's back in the top 10.
Well, good for Justin.
Good for
it's
good
not
for
a
the
comeback.
Biebs.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, but anyway.
Oh, Ed Sheeran. I know. Oh my gosh, real quick.
Ed Sheeran. You mean 100? The star of Game of Thrones? Ed Sheeran?
Game of Thrones. That's right. What about number 16? Elton John is on number 16 right now. Can you believe that?
Oh, that's fantastic.
Well, it's a duet with Dua Lipa, who I know, but I don't listen to. Oh my gosh, yeah, I'm so behind the times. This is crazy.
All right. You know what? I'm pretty sure I did a run through for Steam Park, which got the votes, by the way, while we were off revealing just how incredibly old we are.
Steam Park. I need to look at this game again.
All right. So
yeah, you're building a park, and it's got this funky. It's like the steampunk sort of theme back in the 1800s. You're building an amusement park and doing tile laying, but it's got this really interesting real-time mechanism where that's where you're laying the tiles out, right? Or rolling dice.
No, it's rolling the dice. You're rolling and re-rolling dice as fast as you can.
Yes. To get the resources that you need to build your park.
At some point, I will roll dice in this video.
Yeah, as you can see there. Now, one thing that later on there's a game or there's a function. Is it coal or something or?
It's if I recall correctly. This is the game where the robots poop all over the place.
Yeah, there it is. Oh no, that's not it. Okay, so there's some kind of dirt or whatever that happens.
Yeah. Oh, it's dirt because they're clearing the ground and they create dirt that has to be cleaned up.
And those are bad things. You know what that reminds me of? Years later, I played the game London by Martin Wallace, and he did a thing called Poverty in that game. That reminds me of the same thing. It's like in negative points or whatever, but you have to collect it. It's going to happen regardless. So it's negative points. You're trying to mitigate that. There you are in the video here, placing the die on the pig.
Yep.
Which is, I think you're building at this point. You take those shapes. You're going to build it onto your little grid there, and you can expand your park too. You can add little more tile space to get those bigger shapes on there, and and then you have to get people to ride your rides. So you have the people meeples, the meeple people.
No, the robots. Robots ride these rides, as I recall.
Yeah. So at the end of each round, you're gonna place those robots there. And isn't there a color mechanism where you need to have the same color riders to get extra points or something?
Something like that.
Part?
I think you're gonna have a hard time ranking this thing because clearly neither of us remember it that well.
It's been a while, but there's a reason why it's still in my collection. I remember having a lot of fun with this when I played it the last time, and I haven't gotten rid of the game, so it's got to be,
I'm just gonna go for
yeah. Then
pictures. My
there's
video is too
variable
close.
scoring, and I know the things that you place on your tiles, they cannot be, I think, adjacent. You can do corner to corner. No, it looks like you have one adjacent there.
I think
Maybe you
there
can't
there
have
were
corner.
adjacency issues and doing corner things and
Yeah.
and you can see, I mean, you're trying to get the right rides to get matching color robots to try to get domination in the various and sundry things, but the whole thing
Yeah.
is driven by the real-time dice rolling, and the first person to say done, they grab a bonus thing, and then everybody else who wasn't done, I think, gets like 2 or 3. Look, you don't have to do this time. Now you can be very, very careful about your final rolls, kind of a
Right.
thing, or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, I think
and in
that's
addition to the ride, you can get outhouses that have special powers and whatnot, and you
Mhm.
can make your fairgrounds bigger. You can invest so you've got more
Yep.
space to build them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, from what I remember, it was a fun game, and now that this is an older game, and I'm
definitely.
looking at some of the elements here, like expanding the park. That reminds me of like Barron Park or something
Yeah,
I
very
just
much
played
so. You're
recently.
right.
Yeah, I just played 10 Penny Parks from Thunderworks, and it's a similar game in that aspect. So they were definitely influenced by Steam Park. I just the whole like robots riding on roller coasters was sort of weird to me, but the game itself I remember being really fun. So I have not played in a while, but it's still my collection, and I don't think I'll have to bring it to the table again. But for right now, my ranking, we're gonna go with like a 6.8. It was
6.8.
not a
Okay.
7, but perfectly fine. 6.8. I'm gonna rank it right now. That is Steam Park, my friends.
I wrote after I got rid of it. Really neat, but core design of some elements is very unbalanced.
Oh,
I don't.
core
Again, for life of me, I cannot remember what, but I remember having some real problems with the. I mean, I'm sure I say it in my video in my final thoughts. I explain whatever it was
yeah.
that I thought. There are some things that are just flat out broken in this game.
Oh, really?
Having to do
Okay.
with turn order, if I recall correctly, or
Turn
something,
order.
but I can't remember for the life of me
Yeah.
what it was. But this was a game I did not keep because I felt
Yeah.
there were certain degenerate strategies that just kind of said, "Oh, just do this and nothing else." Which
Okay.
doesn't
Okay.
really matter because this is a game for families, right?
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
really
It's a family
for
weight game,
hardcore.
for sure.
But yeah, I remember we both really liked the tactile nature, and we like rolling dice really fast. We love Escape,
Yeah.
and it's a competitive version of that. But I do remember having some real issues with some balance. But apparently, I couldn't be bothered to write it down when it went to gone.rahdo.com.
Yeah.
But 6.8,
That's fair.
and for me, I will not rank it because I don't rank games I don't like. I just say, hey,
Uh-huh.
I didn't like it. What more do
Okay.
you need to know? I do not understand why why Board Game Geek needs 6 levels of, oh, I don't like it, I really don't like it, I hate it, I really hate it a
Yeah.
lot. It can die in the fiery sun or whatever. It's like, look, you like it or you don't. And this one I thought was neat, but for life of me, I'm casting aspersions, but I'm sure it's in my final thoughts. I'm sure I said what my issue with
Yeah.
it was.
Hey,
All
here's
right.
a fun fact I just learned right now. One of the there's like 3 designers on Steam Park.
Yeah.
One of them was Lorenzo Silva, and he
Yes.
was part of the crew that designed Potion Explosion
Oh.
and Railroad Inc.
Wait, oh,
Railroad
wow.
Inc.
And the King's Dilemma is, I've never
And the
played
King's
it, but
Dilemma.
apparently they're
Imagine
amazing.
that.
So he went on to
Wow.
bigger and better things in a big, big way.
Yes.
Congratulations, Lorenzo. How did your teammates
done.
go? The other
they-
Lorenzo, the Lorenzo 2, also known as
Lorenzo
Lorenzo
2.
Tucci Sorrentino. Dungeon Fighter was actually pretty good.
Wow.
I played that once, and 1960. I don't know
Where
if I
you roll
played.
dice, like you drop dice on like a bullseye. Or
Yeah,
something?
it was kind of like turning darts into an interesting
Oh man,
a
that
board
game
game.
was hard.
Yeah,
That game
yeah.
was really hard.
Yep, and it got some expansion, so that he did pretty well too.
Okay.
And the
Oh,
third
your
one,
Fever.
Ariano, he also did Dungeon Fighter in 1969. All right, cool. Well,
Okay. Cool.
Steam Park, folks. If you'd like to know more, check out my run through. Hopefully, I did a good job demonstrating, and I bet you
Yeah.
anything. I used to be a little bit more. If I saw something I was broken, I was like, fine, okay, just make it go away. These days, when I notice there's something, wow, this is a real shame, I will generally tend to suggest if the developers change this, or this, it would be great. Maybe I said that in the video a million years ago. I do not remember because it was a long time. But we have ranked a game, a very old game, giving it a 6.8 and a
Yeah.
Question mark.
Question mark. Yeah. So I'm gonna, this will be one of those things where I need to bring this back to the table and see if it stays in my collection because I've had it for a while now, and it may be time to move on from it. We shall see.
All right. You know what? Let's do one more quickie because James last week suggested a shout out, which is a very rare thing. Nobody ever requests those. And that's just you folks getting us to say something. And what he said is just talk about how great Steve Finn is. And I could totally do that.
Oh, that's easy for me. I love Steve Finn.
I love Steve Finn. Let's go to
Yeah.
Biblios. And get some Steve Finn love in the world, because man,
I just recently played one of his games.
Here's the deal: why is Steve Finn not on the tip of every gamer's tongue? I mean, first of all, look at him. Look at this happy fella. I forget what he is. He has a doctorate in philosophy.
Really?
Of Dr. Finn games, but his biggest game has always been Biblios, right, which was published by ELO, and I think you can still get it fairly regularly. And Biblios it's such a high watermark to beat. But since then, he's got Dr. Finn games. He's been publishing his own stuff like clockwork for years. He also regularly teams up with Pencil First Games, Eduardo Baraf and Beth Sobel, and does really great stuff with them. And yeah, I mean, I have long called him the king of the filler game because he just makes such amazingly fantastic little 15, 20-minute games that, hey, if the people had voted for little game with big punch, we probably would have talked about some Steve Finn games. No two ways about it.
Yep.
Yep.
And I'm looking at the games that he did. One of them would definitely be on that list. The Whatnot Cabinet.
The Whatnot Cabinet is phenomenal. It is so good. Nanga Parbat is fantastic. Floriferous is great.
Floriferous, one of my. I always like Herbaceous.
The Herbaceous. He's done several different games in his Cosmic Run. I think it's a trilogy now. He's done a Roll and Write. He's done a big board version of it. He's done his original one. The Cosmic Run series, the first one, he actually co-designed with his son. And it turned out to be so popular, he's done more iterations on that one than anything else. And and he's done different versions of Biblios. Institute of Magic Arts recently got a comeback. He's got such a wide variety of things he has done over the years, and I've never played a bad game of his. Every one of his games, even if it turned out not to be a game for me and Jen, we were both like, I'm really glad I played that.
Oh, that's cool.
I mean,
did you play the Biblios Roll and Write Quill and Parchment?
Yes, I did.
I haven't played it yet.
Yep.
How'd you like that?
Well, it's Biblios in theme, but it really changed quite a bit of stuff up. It doesn't really have that whole it's more like, was it a roll and write? No, it wasn't a roll and write, but it kind of felt like it was like a roll, but then put stuff on a board kind of thing. And it had just a lot of different paths you were trying to pursue. This is actually a bigger game for him, as I recall. And I take it back. Okay. It is a roll and write. Quill and Parchment is a roll and write. So it's still got the same dice you expect. And, they do increase in value, which was the original thing. But there's this whole other thing where you literally travel around and go on a pilgrimage with the, because the dice are multi-use. You can use them for several different things. So it was actually a very cool game. Actually liked it quite a bit. I think my favorite is still Biblios, and probably my number 2 is Whatnot Cabinet.
Yeah, I've got. I don't know. I think I like Floriferous a lot. I've
with
played
good
that
reason.
a lot this year. Yeah, that one, and then Whatnot Cabinet. I'm a sucker for the straightforward, simple, and elegant play of Herbaceous. Michelle and I played that a bunch. Biblios is rock solid as well. Yeah, there's so many. I agree with you. I've never played one of his games that I did not like or appreciate for what it is. He's a fantastic designer.
I completely agree. I mean, for me, he is a designer that if you say, "Oh, Steve Finn worked on it," okay, I definitely want to check it out. There's no two ways about it. Just guaranteed. Sunset Over Water was like one we didn't enjoy as much. It was beautiful. I think it had Beth Sobel art, as Pencil First Games often do, but I didn't think it worked very well at 2. I thought, wow, I'd love to play this at a higher player count. At 2, it was just a little bit too wide open and laid back. But the Herbaceous Capital to Copy is a great little Area Control 2-player game. Institute of Magical Arts is a great Area Control 2-player game, but Whatnot Cabinet is next level stuff. One of the crunchiest, puzzliest games. Whatnot Cabinet deserves to be mentioned in the same sentence as Cascadia and Calico, quite frankly.
Yeah, it is. You're absolutely correct. That is a fantastic game. And again, I don't know why it was. I feel like it was overlooked last year. Maybe because of everyone was raving about Cascadia, but Whatnot Cabinet definitely deserves to be talked about in the same breath, because it is a absolute fantastic game. And again, you're playing it. It's 25 minutes or so, maybe.
Yep.
Every single turn is crunchy, like you said. It's a fantastic game.
Yeah, I mean, just really delicious crunchiness. A tile drafting game, trying to get consistent rows and columns as you draft them, matching colors, matching types. Just brilliant game. One of my faves of recent years.
Yeah. Oh, and I love that action selection at the top there. You take
there have been several people,
right?
who have taken inspiration from King Domino, including Steve with Floriferous, but this one really takes that King Domino vibe in a whole different direction and does fresh, new, cool stuff with it. Steve Finn deserves all the accolades. Every time when he teams up with Pencil First, the games generally tend to do pretty well. When he does his own Kickstarters, they always tend to just they succeed and they fund, and year after year, he gets them out to people like clockwork. And I just don't quite get why he hasn't taken off. Generally speaking, when he does his own games, he does not chase after really high-end art, right?
Okay.
So that's going to be a problem. I mean, not that his games tend to lend themselves to really amazing art, because they tend to be fun, fast, punchy little cerebral games. I'm the biggest Steve Finn fan in the world, and I would shout out for him all day. Good suggestion, audience.
Great call. And just one more thing, when he's doing the stuff with Pencil First, I love the fact I love the fact that a lot of times they partner with Beth Sobel, but it's the themes of the games. These are not, your typical fantasy games or sci-fi or Western or whatever. You're talking about going to check out, paintings or growing an herb garden or walking down a flower path. I love that in this game. The Whatnot Cabinet, you're literally just walking along the beach, picking up curios for a cabinet. I mean, that's wonderful.
Yep.
I love that.
Yeah, beautiful games that you could definitely teach anybody to play, but unlike a lot of gateway games that Jen and I just do not have time for because they're just too light. When Steve sits down and does them, he said, no, there's something here for a hardcore gamer geek too, but you can still play it with your mother-in-law over tea.
Yes.
Yeah. Cannot sing 100%. The man's praises enough. All the shout outs in the world. Oh, there's Eduardo, his frequent collaborator, to Steve Finn, as I often refer to him, the king of the filler. I know I said that once in a video, and he started actually putting that quote in all his Kickstarters. But I stand by it. I mean, they're just absolutely fantastic.
I will stand there with you, my friend. Definitely.
Yep. Yeah. Nanga Parbat. Oh my gosh, such a great game. Shay covered this one for the channel. This is another incredibly brilliant, fast-playing little 2-player reverse drafting duel that is just so sharp. So sharp. Yep.
I just received a copy. I have not played it yet, but
you will love it.
I will have to check out Shay's video.
You and Michelle will adore it. It's great. It's got tons of. I mean, this is actually a higher quality production than what he normally does. All these cool little animal meeples. Yeah. Cool. All right, that was a fun one. Hey, more requests like that, folks. More retrospectives. I want to
shout out our friend Kabuki Kid.
Yes.
Kabuki said, my favorite metal is old school original metal, NWOBHM, thrash, that kind of era, mostly 70s, 80s. Do you have any idea, Rahdo, what NWOBHM is? Because I know what it is.
All right. Old school metal, NWOBHM. I have no idea. Northwest, original brew. No, I don't know.
It's the new wave of British heavy metal.
Oh, wow.
That's what it is. Around that 70s, 80s era.
Oh, so that's like what? I Want to Be Anarchy. It's all I can think of is the name Steve Finn now. Johnny Rotten and that kind of stuff.
That's like 70s era punk. This is heavy metal stuff like Iron Maiden, Judas Priest. I think Def Leppard was part of that wave as well. But I am also a fan of Kabuki Kid. I just want to say I know what you're talking about, and
Well, I think we all have to bow our heads in reverence to Wigwam.
Wigwam.
because of the Peacemaker title
Yes,
song.
the Peacemaker.
Yep.
That's right. Kabuki Kid, yeah, 17. I was just verifying that is my jam as well, my friend. I
Wow.
enjoy those. Yeah, I enjoy that music very, very much.
Take away my old man. At least I could say, oh, I'm an old man. At least I know old references. Apparently, I know no references whatsoever. Oh,
well, that was the new wave of British. That's pretty niche.
Yeah,
think. If
I
you're
would
into
say
that
so.
type of music, you would know it. Yeah,
I
it's
would
definitely
say
not pop
so,
music.
definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll tell you what.
right.
Now, let's give some stuff away, shall we?
Yeah. Let's do
Shall we? What were we giving away this week? Well, first of all, let me just, I will take a second just to check, because Ruel snuck the secret word in last week, and oh my gosh, never before have more people had to, who are, folks, did you know if you subscribe to the show and you cannot find the secret word, you can just direct message me, or if you back the show on Patreon, dozens of people had to get the hint this week. So don't feel bad if you had to ask, folks. Where did you sneak it in, Ruel?
Folks, it was so what we normally do is before we go on, when you all help us decide what secret word we do, we will take notes as far as where we're going to place it in the games that we're talking about. This time I had said I was going to say it on one of my games, but when Richard started talking about one of his games, I just found the perfect opportunity to say it. Now, what game was it? Oh my gosh, what was the secret word? It was
the secret word was Knizia, and you snuck it into my entry, which was Tapestry. And you actually, it should totally be noticeable, because I had finished talking about Tapestry. We went back to just, we're doing some wrap up, and you said, hey, could you bring Tapestry back on screen? I want to talk about it some more. And this has never happened before. And it was, but apparently you did it so smoothly that a lot of people totally missed that you then had said, this game could have been designed by Reiner Knizia.
Yeah, I did give that little pause, or well, hopefully I did, and made it clear. But we sort of tricked you last week, and that was just, I called an audible. It was like the perfect opportunity. So, folks, you never know when we're going to say it. So,
it was a good call. And so we had a bunch of entries, and they are all entering to win a copy of Paradox Initiative, which is fantastic. Did you have fun playing it with the Brothers Murph yesterday after your technical difficulties?
We really enjoyed it. We were that whole the mechanism of playing. Basically, you're playing Bejeweled, right?
Right.
And that was so new to us as far as like incorporating with the rest of the board game where you're.
Oh, none of you had played it before. Okay.
No, we never played it before. We did a couple of sample turns before we went live, and then we just went live. It's like, hey, here's the Paradox Initiative. We taught it, we played it, and we had a good time with it. So yeah, folks are going to really enjoy this game. It's already fully funded on Kickstarter.
Oh, so, yeah. Yep, it's doing very, very well. Okay.
The artwork, folks. When you see the artwork up close, you're going to love it.
It's
so
amazing.
Many different artists contributed to it. Oh my gosh.
Jaw-dropping looking game.
Yes.
I'm sure at the end of the year, it's going to get lots of, Best Art of the Year awards.
Get better.
Yeah, totally.
Just, no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
All right, let's go on ahead. I just checked. We had one late entry, so I'm literally going to copy-paste them in. Matthias, you made it in just under the wire, sir.
Wow.
And let's see who wins one copy of Paradox Initiative. Spin.
Good luck, everybody.
Spin,
Here we
spin.
go. Spin. Wow, there's a lot of entries.
JW Spiker. JW is a regular. He might actually be in the chat as we speak. All JW, right. Step up and accept your award. Congratulations.
Well done.
Well, of course, this will be the one time he's not here. Yep. I do not see him. He has not chatted. And normally, he's a pretty regular. All right, congratulations. Oh, no, he did. He's here. He says, sweet. We need, JW, you need to make an acceptance speech now. Accepting on behalf of JW. Yeah, that's awesome. Alrighty, cool. So we've got that out of the way. And I think it's already been, all right, can you use the word donuts in one of your, because we got to get the show on the road.
Yeah, that's what I was doing when you're spinning. It will be very difficult for me to. I think
I can. Hold on a second.
Okay.
I think I've got one. I just need to do a quick check. So, see if how JW is doing with it. If he's picked himself up off the floor.
Everyone's asking for a speech for JW. And well, there he is, right there. He said, and sure enough, the feature is not working now. Come on.
Oh no.
Chat. Oh, anyway. Yeah, JW says, many thanks to win this one. It's the one I was considering backing. So awesome. Well done. save yourself a little coinage, and don't forget to Richard will contact you for
Yeah. I mean, I've got his email because that's how people enter, and so we'll get that afterwards. Yeah. Okay, I do have one.
Okay, so you can do it. Okay. I mean, I could force it, but
Nope.
I don't know.
I've got a very natural lead in. Easy peasy,
Okay.
in fact. All right, let's see
Awesome.
here. I just need to. All right.
For those who just joined us, we will be the secret word is going to be donut during the show when we start recording.
For the record, it's going to be donuts. I know that right now.
Okay,
I know how
cool.
I'm going to say it. It'll be the plural. Donuts is the secret word.
All right.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Perfect. All right. You know what? I'm going to make another note.
Okay.
So I will be able to.
Oh, Spiska, thanks for asking. Yes, the puppies are doing well.
Are they banished from the room?
They're not banished. They're sleeping in the other room, and hopefully it's going to stay like that for the next 2 hours or hour or so as we complete the show. But if you do hear barking, folks, those are our two new pugs, Meeple and Mookie. Of course, we had to name one Meeple because we're gamers, but we are also Dodger fans, so we named Mookie after the Los Angeles Dodger Mookie Betts. And we just think those are, what's funny too? The M&M, right? So we have M&M, and I happen to have a hat that has an M&M on it. Called for the game Mythic Mischief, and it just worked perfectly. I'm going to wear that hat from now on wherever I go for Meeple and Mookie. So thanks for asking, friend. Appreciate that.
Excellent.
Let's see. What else do we got? I think that's it as far
All
as chat is going.
I have made my notes.
Said the US Book of Nerds. No, the USB hub came back to life. I reincarnated it this morning. It's all good. Thank you.
I mean, how did they do that much damage? I mean, do you just have do you have like some kind of fragile house of cards just off camera?
Pretty much, and with two pugs rather than one, like one went this way and one went this way, and they just took everything out. They spread out and did as much damage as they could.
Do they have bad eyesight? They're not capable of walking around things?
They got so excited. They're like, Amazon guy, and they yeah. Pretty much how I react when I hear the doorbell, like, games coming to the door, so they're definitely Gaviolas.
Okay, all right. That is excellent. All right, I've got my notes set up. I've got the browser now set to Fun Again because this week it's a Fun Again sponsored show. We're doing a hot upcoming games or games that we buy right now. And let's see, do I have the box covers? Hey folks, look at this. Use code R&R at checkout to get 10% off your purchase this week only.
Nice.
Which I have no idea if they did this on purpose, but this month is the 10th anniversary of Rahdo Runs Through. I did not work this out with them. They just said, hey, this week you'd like to do a $10 off or 10% off if you use a Rahdo code. And I'm like, well, what do you know? It's my 10th anniversary. How perfect is that?
Wow, 10 years.
10
awesome.
Years.
Congratulations.
10 years.
That is quite an achievement. I mean, how many other channels can say they've been around for 10 years talking about board games? Not many.
A small handful.
Dice Tower, maybe? And,
Dice Tower, Rodney, Shut Up and Sit Down.
Those are the big ones. Yeah. Right?
There must be a couple more. I'm just... Lance Meister, the Undead Viking, very rarely, but does occasionally still do a video. But pretty rarely these days. So I wouldn't say he's doing it regularly. I mean, yeah, it's I'm in a very small group. Made my 10. Done my time.
That is quite an achievement, and congratulations. And
Joel Eddy, although Joel Eddy just finished fundraising to start kicking up again. Yes, you're right. Joel Eddy is fantastic. Thank you, Kabuki. He, nice. I learned a lot from him. He definitely gave me some advice over the years and whatnot. Mm-hmm. I very much enjoy his show as well, although not very regular. I mean, in terms of regularity, there's, I guess, really me, Tom, and I mean. Right. Shut Up and Sit Down, I guess they're fairly regular, right? For the longest time, they did one video a week. I think they do like 2 or 3 videos a month now, which I guess is you could say regular. Yeah. So I'm in a small club, the 10 Timers, to use the SNL reference.
Amazing. So that means, let's see, you've been on 10 years. What year? So that was 2012.
Yep, 2012. Late March, I put my first video up on Vimeo because back then they wouldn't let you put videos on YouTube that were over 10 minutes long unless you got some kind of special waiver. And so I I have to post
wow.
this on Vimeo, and this is terrible. No one's going to see this. And I figured out what I had to do to get the permission. And then it was April 2nd, 2012, that I put Helvetia, my first run through, on YouTube.
Oh, that's amazing. So 2012, that I got into the hobby in 2015.
Oh, wow.
So
You're a young
I
pup.
remember I don't remember the first one I watched of yours, but I know it was at least, I mean, it was right after I got in the hobby. So I'm thinking late 2015, I probably started watching you. And I never would have guessed all those years ago that I would be hosting a regular show with you.
Yeah. I would
Yeah,
say it worked
again,
out
I
pretty
cannot
well.
thank you enough for the opportunity, and I love working with you here, and like I tell everyone that I talk to, I learn so much every week with you, Richard, and again, thank you so much for having me on, and just for doing all you can for the board game community. Heck, you've taught me so many games that you've never known that you've taught me before, just because I watch your videos so much. It's wonderful. So
It
again,
is definitely been a
kudos to
long
you,
road.
sir.
I just
Well done.
actually, for people back on Patreon at the $2 a month level, I do a monthly ramble, and the ramble I did this month was a 90-minute retrospective, where I just opened up YouTube, sorted by reverse date, and just started going through all the old videos. And you're looking for milestones. When was the first time I did this? When was the first time this happened? And just talking about how what were my keys to success? And I ended up talking for like 90 minutes, and then I realized, oh crap! At no point in that 90 minutes did I talk about Paulo and how. So I actually had to do some research, and then I wrote like a small treatise about how he came on board. So if you're ever interested in really digging deep, folks, $2, you can know everything, and then you can just do it for 1 month and see all my rambles, my like 3 or 4 years worth of rambles I've done. But yeah, that's neither
I'm
here
sure
nor
you
there.
talk about. I'm sure you talk about it in the video, but let me ask you if you don't mind sharing. When did you make the transition from the handheld camera to the non-handheld?
Oh, I did talk about that in the video, yes. It was a slow. I mean, I pointed out the first time I ever had a static camera. Because here's the thing. Here's one little bit of insight. Of course, for like my first 2 or 3 years, I was literally filming, like this with an iPhone 4, right? And this is very jittery to film this way. And so after my first 2 or 3 films, and my first 2 or 3 are the jitteriest they could possibly be, what I did is, I totally forgot about this until I was doing the retrospective. Ruel, you remember how we used to, the early days of our smartphones, we'd have to buy TomTom to have GPS stuff, and you had to buy these weird big suction cup things that would stick on your dashboard, and then you can put them there. I had one of those, and I took it out of the car, rejiggered it, and reshaped it so that it was kind of like holding the, I could hold it kind of like this. And I was just holding on to this weird amorphous bracket from my car, and then, things started getting a lot smoother using my phone. And and so the first time I ever had a static cam, it was Town Center, which was so tiny that I could actually have the camera this close to it and it would all fit in frame. So that was the first time I ever just used that little car bracket and stuck it to the table and took a shot. That was like video number 20 or something like that. But then a few years later, once I had a 2 camera setup, I actually set up a second camera so that everything like from year 3 on had static camera options. And I went into all of this stuff, an incredible amount of detail about how the show has evolved over the years. 90 minutes of just nonstop talking like this. It was ridiculous.
That's awesome. And so people can do this, see all this stuff by becoming a Patreon at the $2 level. Is that correct?
Yeah. $2, $1, you basically get to vote on stuff, and you get all the you get a stream avatar, you get discounts on merch, you get the secret words and all of that stuff. $2, you get the monthly ramble. $3, you get early advanced sneak peeks of videos, usually a couple of weeks, sometimes a couple of months early before the videos go live. $5, you get the Rahdo Recluse, where every month I film a complete solo game from start to finish. The one I just finished filming the other day, which people will be seeing soon, is this Viticulture World. I did a full solo run through of it, only for my level 5 Recluse backers. And then 10 gets the Jen Jog. That's the Recollect, where every month Jen does hey, I'm going to rate every game I played this month. The same thing that you and I do, but I do it with Jen, so you get like a completely new perspective. Then at 15, every month, Jen and I do a full playthrough of an entire game from start to finish, just for exclusive viewers. And then there's some other higher level stuff. At 1 level, I send you a real world postcard anywhere in the world. And I do other stuff at the
wow.
higher levels. But yeah, if you want to see that Rahdo, the most recent ramble, you could just sign up for $2 and then just cancel it at the end of the month. And for that month, you can watch, I think there's like 4 years worth of rambles. Like one time I interviewed my mom and the audience asked questions about what was I like as a kid? What kind of games did we play growing up? I've done all kinds of things. The only negative top 10 I ever did, top 10 overrated games, was a ramble. Only my ramblers get to see it. You know, that kind of stuff.
Wow. There it is, folks. A lot of stuff you can check out. Consider backing on Patreon.
Apologies that this, I did not intend for this to become a commercial, but hey.
You know, we're celebrating your 10 years
there
as
you go.
a creator, so
yep.
Yeah, no worries. And okay.
Cool. All right. So we know the secret word is donuts. I'm going to be saying it. We're fun again. We're doing a countdown of the games we would buy, having gone through stuff. And we don't have a game on the table because it's the $50 gift certificate winner plus the 10% thing. And that's it. I think anything else? Am I forgetting anything?
No, I think
I know I'm forgetting one thing.
The battle royale. That's what we need to do.
Fight! Here we go.
All right, folks.
Got to get the blood pumping.
Yes. And don't worry, you will be reincarnated after all the bloodshed here.
Yes,
virtual
after
bloodshed, as we say.
All right.
Let's see.
Wow, once again, Duck of Death is gigantic. He's hard to miss. Yes. Right there in the middle. Worst place to be, surrounded by everybody. And Duck of Death makes an immediate run over to the left and throws down with the Noga and then keeps on running. So far, he's doing okay, even though he's the biggest thing in the crowd. Oh, but he's down to half life and he's completely surrounded. Run away, Duck! Run back to the right. And he stops to fight Holy Diver, I think? And it looks like he takes out Exacting Vampire. Duck of Death brought the death to he killed an immortal! But and now I think it's over for him. Nope, turn around. He does a backstab on Goblin, not 1918. Duck of Death is brutally the Duck of Death. But the show is over, taken out by Nazgoth and the gigantic double hammer. Nazgoth looks like the odds-on favorite. It's almost completely full health. Everybody else is almost dead, although Zedarek just picked up a health pack. Kabuki Pig tries to take down the Nazgoth. Could not touch him. All those little star power did not help. And now Nazgoth and Tibby Baloo turns around and runs. Everybody runs away from Nazgoth. And Nazgoth is just very slowly, very deliberately. And it comes down to Nazgoth and Zeta. Close health. Zeta is almost gone. Zeta makes a run for the health pack. Zeta, what just happened? Zeta just double-sized and said, I don't need the health pack. I'm literally twice as big as Nazgoth. I don't understand what just happened, but it didn't happen. It became a David versus Goliath. And, wow. All right, congratulations. Naz.
Congrats. Well done.
What just happened there? Why?
That was insane, right?
Oh, Nazgoth wasn't oversized. He just is wearing such a huge helmet, I thought he was oversized.
Oh,
and it's just Zeta right at that moment spent channel points to become oversized as if it would help. I don't think it helps at all. Although Duck of Death did pretty well too.
Nice fight, folks.
Yep. Very dramatic, very dramatic. All right. Okay, cool. That was a whole bunch of silliness. Oh, I didn't realize I was full screen this whole time. Oopsie doops. Sorry about that.
Oh, you're good.
Yep. Okay.
Okay. Well, let's get the show on the road.
Alrighty then. Let me that got the blood pumping. Got to lose the slippers now. And get ready to go. You're ready to go?
I am good to go.
Alrighty. And putting on the notice, folks, please, if anybody shows up late, let them know that although, man, why do we never pay attention to the chat, Ruel? We're so bad.
What happened?
We're just not paying attention to the chat.
Oh, I know.
We're so wrapped up in each other.
We get so wrapped up talking about donuts and whatnot.
We talked a bit much about donuts than we probably should have, quite frankly. Apologies for that, folks. But I still say
we do appreciate everyone here. Thank you for watching. This has been the pre-show. We've got plenty. We'll stick around a little while afterwards too. If you have time, we'll do some Q&A.
Yeah, definitely. Yes. And so, folks, if you have questions, start your comment with a question mark so it will show up in the queue, and we will be doing Q&A with you after we get through the show. But right now, we got to get through this show. Right. So, where are we? And what number is this one?
This is
number 37. All right, okay, cool. Boopity boopity boop 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 boop. Bring the browser back. All right. I think the browser is ready to go. Yep. Okay. Hey, everybody. Episode 37 of the R&R Show is brought to you by Fun Again Games. And hello, Ruel. How are you doing, sir?
I am doing fantastic, my friend. And congratulations, by the way, on 10 years of Rahdo Runs Through. I'm so excited and happy for you, but I'm also blown away that you've been doing this for 10 years.
10 years. 10 years! To quote Gross Point Blank, one of my wife's favorite. We always just shout 10 years for no reason, but today it actually, right. I've been doing this, folks, since 2012 when I first picked up that little iPhone 4 and decided to film a game. And honestly, I had no expectation it would go this long or grow this big or expand. This is the thing that has made me happiest over 10 years of doing this is, bringing Ruel onto the channel and getting to do this show with him every week, and bringing Shay onto the channel. And now Kimberly Tolson is starting to knock it out of the park. And hopefully, if all goes well, folks, at the end of this week, the latest contributing channel is going to show up. They've got a phenomenal run through of Radlands. I can't wait for everybody to see it. And the sky's the limit. These first 10 years have worked out pretty well. We'll see how the next 10 years go. But it's interesting, Ruel, that you should mention the number 10, because our sponsor this week is Fun Again Games. And in case you didn't notice on the logo screen, this week until April 25th, if you are at all interested in anything you might see for sale at funagain.com, if during checkout you use the secret code R&R, or I should say R ampersand R, right? That's what the and is. It's an ampersand, I believe.
Yes.
Yes, okay, cool. I thought I lost you there for a second. If you use that code, you will get 10% off your purchase, which I had no idea they were going to offer this week. It's a total coincidence as they're doing this in the month of our 10th anniversary. So we're just going to say that, to celebrate, we pulled an extra little something special for you folks, although that wasn't the case at all.
But it works out.
It works out pretty well. And especially, there's even more savings to be had because Fun Again Games is sponsoring the show, which means one lucky viewer today will also get a $50 gift certificate from Fun Again Games that they can use towards their shipping or towards their purchases. Ruel, how do they get that?
Well, the way you're going to get it, folks, is just watch the show, listen carefully, and one of us is going to say the secret word during a game that we're talking about. And today's secret word is donuts. Yes, those wonderful, delectable breakfast treats that we all know and love. Donuts. One of us is going to say it, and what you need to do is write down or type in the name of the game that we're talking about at that time, and then send that game or the game title over to an email at contest@rahdo.com.
Correct.
And you'll be entered to win the giveaway. So again, the secret word is donuts. One of us is going to say it. Be sure to pay attention.
Yes, sadly, the secret word is not fritters, which would be my preference, but I just had the rug pulled out from under me in the pre-show for today. We were talking about donuts, and somebody in the audience pointed out that an apple fritter, which is the greatest donut in the world, is not technically a donut, which I reject flat out. Fritters are still the best donuts, and I don't care what anybody says.
Now, in the pre-show, we did sort of argue what the best donuts were, but our worlds were rocked when we found out apple fritters were not considered donuts. I'm still sort of blown away by that. I'm going to have to stand with you, Richard. I think fritters are donuts. They may not be the best. My favorites are Tiger Tails, but what are you going to do? At least we can agree that they're both donuts.
Well, folks, that was a brief sneak peek at just the kind of silliness you can get in the R&R Extended Edition. If you hit that eye up in the top right corner screen or follow the links in the show notes, there's like an extra hour of us talking about donuts and game-related things, I promise. We did a very loving retrospective of one of our combined favorite designers of all time today. We'll be doing some Q&A after the show. So if you like the R&R, but you felt like, I want more, how can I get more? Hit that eye, follow the links in the show notes to watch the extended edition. But all that out of the way, we are going to be counting down our top 10 games we would go out and buy right now, which is a episode we do once a month, trying to keep our finger on the pulse of new stuff that has come out, or sometimes older stuff that you can just find for an incredible deal, and it's just impossible to pass that up. Are you ready to go? Do you have your 10 queued up, Ruel?
Yes, I am ready to go. I am fired up to talk about these games because I would definitely drop some cash on all of these right now.
Okay,
So
well then, folks, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show, and be listening for one of us to say the word donuts, and you know what to do after the show. You will have a week to get your entry in. We don't draw until the following Tuesday, so you have until the 26th of April to get your entry in. And we actually, during the extended edition of the show, is when we announce the winner. You have until the 25th, which is Monday of next week, to use the special code R&R during checkout to get 10% off anything that you want to pick up at Fun Again. And hey, maybe some of the ones we're about to talk about might pique your interest. So, Ruel, with that out of the way, what is our number 10?
our number 10 is a game that I saw first, thanks to you. And let's see if it's going to pop up here. Thanks to one of your run-throughs, it's Flourish.
Okay.
Yeah. Flourish. I mean, it looks beautiful. Maybe it's the springtime that's gotten in me, but I think it's just a beautiful garden building game. It's card drafting and set collection. You're creating a garden. I thought it was interesting that you would point it out. You could play it solo, like cooperatively, or you can play competitively. I always like having those options.
Yep.
And what really caught my eye was not only the beautiful artwork and stuff, but just the way it's you do the draft, right? You take a card, you're going to play one, but you're also going to give cards to your neighbors at the same time.
Correct.
And then you're going to eventually use those, as the game continues. And that reminded me of one of my favorite games. I don't know if you've ever played it, a game called Zany Penguins.
I have never even heard of Zany Penguins.
It's a Bruno Cathala game.
Oh, wow.
From back in the day, a small box game, and he had a similar mechanism where you're playing cards, but you're also giving cards to the players on your left and right. It's got a little bit of area majority, but that's a different type of game. But that's what this reminded me of. And that's why I really, really want to play this game, and it's on sale right now at Fun Again for a couple of bucks off, and this will be a great chance to check it out. And that is Flourish. I'll let you speak a little more because you have experience with the game.
That is a
I
good
believe
choice.
You and Jen enjoyed it, right?
Oh yeah, we both liked it quite a bit. Now, you're bearing the lead. This is from the same design couple as Everdell.
Yes, yeah, that was another thing I wanted to mention. Yes, James Wilson and his partner. I forget her. I forget her name, but his partner. They
Clarissa Wilson. Yeah,
Clarissa
James
Wilson.
and Clarissa Wilson. And this is, don't get me wrong. I mean, Everdell is a beautiful, wonderful, charming, gateway-ish worker placement game. This, as you said, is a card drafting game. But unlike Sushi Go or Seven Wonders, where every turn you're going to pick one card for yourself and then just hand the rest to your neighbor, that's just kind of become the norm. In this game, you pick one for yourself, you pick one for the player to the left, you pick one for the player to the right, and then you draw 3 more cards and refill your hand. So unlike most drafting games, you have a lot of control over your hand. And often you're like, okay, this is an incredibly powerful card, but it's hugely risky. If I were to play this right now, I know people would ensure I never get what I need to finish this. They'll never show up in the draft because I'll reveal what I want. I will keep it secret and keep it safe and then play it like the second to the last round. But that means you are clogging up your hand, that means you're having to give other stuff away to your opponents. There's a lot of really clever stuff, and it also came, like you said, with different modes. You could play cooperatively. It also came with several different modules you could turn on that take it from just kind of a gateway plus into an incredibly crunchy game with a lot of positional elements when you play the cards out in front of you. Beautiful, gorgeous game, and honestly, I was kind of surprised it didn't get more attention from folks, considering the pedigree, since it's from the Everdell folks. A good number 10, an excellent number 10, I should say. Flourish.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I was wondering about that because I had no idea who the designers were until I dove a little deeper into the BGG page. I was like, oh wow, Everdell. I'm like, I don't know if for whatever reason they didn't hype that up or whatever. But yeah, that's our start for the list. Number 10. What do we have for number 9? I'm
glad you asked. Let me go on ahead and tell you, because this is another one that I kind of feel is what you would call it, not sliding under the radar. Flying under the radar.
Flying under the radar.
I do not understand why our number 9, Public Market, has not caught the attention of players quite as much, because it is from the designed super trio of Molly Johnson, Robert Melvin, and Sean Stankiewicz. And I mean, obviously, we're both hardcore gamers. We know who these are. But in case you don't, let's talk about their games instead. Truffle Shuffle, Verdant, 10, Point Salad, Dollars to Donuts. These three have been putting out some of the coolest, usually often food-themed games over the last few years. And the thing about Public Market, which is a commercial fishing simulation, is by far their heaviest game. These three tend to put out very simple, lightweight, gateway games. I think probably Point Salad is their biggest hit to date. But this one is much richer, and there's a lot going on. Every round, you're going to have a worker placement auction, where it takes worker placement and uses it in auction style to determine player order and what bonuses everybody gets. And player order determines who's going to get first dibs on these awesome Tetris-y polyomino pieces. We talked about this in a recent show, how most polyomino games just stick to Tetris. You have the S, you have the L, you have the O. This game says to heck with it. How about the question mark? How about the lowercase h? You get really complex pieces, kind of like Isle of Cats. So you're trying to squeeze them all in to your ice chest because they represent all the fish that you're catching. And now, the whole game could be that. Oh, we auction to see who gets the fish first, and we're just trying to pack them in tight and efficiently into our ice chest. But then there's this whole other element of the game because there are catches of the day and you're trying to collect certain types. There's an economy because you have to take them back and sell them on the open market, and you're racing to be the first to fulfill these contracts. So there is a lot going on. And if you like heavier polyomino games, anybody who likes Isle of Cats, not for the cats necessarily, because this is all about fish, but for the really rich, intricate gameplay that goes so far above and beyond what you normally get with this type of game, you really owe it to yourself to check out our number 9, Public Market.
Yeah, I remember this game when it came out, and yes, it's totally flying under the radar because I didn't even know it was by this trio of designers who I love. All those games, Point Salad, Truffle Shuffle, everything. Wow, I need to play this game ASAP, especially it's got polyominoes. Oh my gosh, this sounds like my jam.
Yeah, I think you'll be really surprised because again, it's much heavier than most. And another thing too, when I was actually making my half of this list, I tend to go and with the games I'm picking, I also looked, well, where are these available? And I was really surprised. This is pretty much sold out almost everywhere. But Fun Again still has copies of it. And and hey, this week you can get 10% off with the code R&R. But anyway. That's number 9. What's number 8?
Let's move on to our number 8. Our number 8 is Hero Realms, the Lost Village campaign deck.
Oh, I see.
So, yes, Hero Realms I absolutely love. It's a deck building game. If you know Star Realms from the same company, Wise Wizard Games, fantastic deck builder. Hero Realms is a re-theme of that. Rather than sci-fi, it's heroes, but it's a little more combo-y from what I remember, and I really enjoy it. But they also do this really cool thing where it's normally a competitive game, but they put out these campaign-style games, which are cooperative games, and you have a story that you follow. The first one was called The Ruin of Thundar.
Yeah.
And this is the new one, The Lost Village. So this picks up where the last campaign left off, which I played part of. I don't think I've completed the first campaign, but I just thought it was really cool. You have an adventure book. It has different chapters you're going to read through. And what's really neat, and I don't know if you played this one, Richard, you get character packs that you can level up you have asymmetric powers, and then when you do the campaign you can level up as well. Oh, it's so much fun, and I'm looking forward to this next adventure. I mean, I need to complete the first one, but I'm looking forward to this one as well. The Lost Village, the Hero Realms next campaign.
Yeah. We played the previous one, Ruins of Thundar or Thandar. I did a run through of it if you want to check it out. And here's the deal: I don't understand, Ruel, why people play Star Realms when they could play Hero Realms. To me, I mean, there's so much more going on with that game, and honestly, I really enjoy the rich, vibrant, colorful fantasy world rather than just a bunch of generic spaceships in space. I mean, obviously, Star Realms is hugely popular, but Hero Realms, which is basically a fantasy version of Star Realms, got so much more interesting when you started getting these campaign boxes coming out. And like I said, this is the second one. A good choice. Yeah. Do you know, is this an expansion or is it a fully standalone?
I believe it's a fully standalone, but it does continue the story of Thandar. Yeah,
cool.
I keep saying Thundar. I'm thinking Thundar the Barbarian. I don't know why, but
do not tempt me, or I will just literally verbatim spit out the entire opening, the entire 3-minute opening of Thundar Barbarian, as I love that show so much as a kid. Ariel Okla Ride is. I'll just leave it there. Demon Dogs, Lords of Light. Oh my gosh. Anyway, where's our Thundar the Barbarian board game industry? Come on.
Yeah. someone's got to pick up that
Renegade
IP. Come
Games,
on.
you're giving us G.I. Joe, you're giving us Transformers. Put that
Yeah.
stuff to the side. Bring us the Jack Kirby goodness. Bring us Thundar the Barbarian.
We want Thundar.
We want
Absolutely.
Thundar bad. Now that, wow, I'm sorry. That was another little sneak peek as the kind of stuff that normally happens during the extended edition of the show. It kind of bled into the main show here where we're trying to stay on target. Sorry about that, folks. Alrighty, cool. Well, that was an excellent entry. I totally missed that one. But let's move on now to number 7, Riverside. And this is again. I'm surprised. I seem to gravitate this week towards the under the radar games. Although to be fair, I think Riverside had a very small release originally in Europe, and I think it was very, very difficult to get your hands on for a while. And I think it might still be pretty tough to find. But Fun Again has it, and I'm just going to tell you right now, folks, this is great. This is one of the best roll and writes that came out last year, and you don't have to take my word for it. Z Garcia of the Dice Tower put this game in his top 10 of the year. So that's big. And with good reason. It is a game where we are running a, what do you call it? A cruise line through the Nordic fjords, and every round we're going to roll a bunch of dice that kind of represent the potential tourists who will be on your boat, and also kind of represent the crew as well. And we're going to draft these dice and use them to fill up different lines while actually moving through a little map of the fjord and trying to kind of push our luck, because we want to get our boats, our yellow boat, which is a boat full of people who want to see wildlife, let's say. They want to go to particular stops. And the main boat that works along the map is going to just go on this certain path around. And you're like, okay, do I have enough time to get more people into the yellow boat before we get to this yellow stop? No, I don't. Okay, then I'm not going to get out of this yellow stop. I'm going to keep on going and try to get to the second one. Because if I can actually completely fill my boat up and stop at the second one, even though it's not as lucrative, the wildlife isn't as good there, I can also combine it with people who want to see restaurants or hotels, because there's another stop over there, and maybe I can combine those two things together. So there's this really interesting board presence where the ship is going to move whether you like it or not, and you're trying to fill up your own private boat to really leverage the main board as fast as you can, but everybody's doing the same thing at the same time. And it is definitely on the heavier end. This is not a Hadrian's Wall, but I would say this is definitely getting up towards maybe a Fleet the Dice game level of complexity here. And it is phenomenal. It's fun, it's fast playing, it's got a very interesting take on dice drafting, quite unlike anything else out. It's from the designers of Avenue, which is still to this day, I think, one of the best roll and writes of all time. So I highly recommend Riverside. And like I said, it's not just me. Z Garcia of the Dice Tower, I think it was his number 6 best game of the year, and it's available right now, and it comes in as our number 7.
Yeah, that looks awesome, and I know that there's a few of my gaming friends. When it came out, we talked about we couldn't get our hands on it.
Exactly.
It's just tough to get a copy. So there it is, folks. It's now available. Great choice. Let's move on to number 6. This is. Let me see if I got this right here. Number 6 is Momiji. Momiji, I believe it's
okay.
pronounced.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a game where you're collecting autumn leaves from the Imperial Garden in ancient Japan. And, I love the aesthetic of this game. It's a card drafting set collection game, which, I just love these type of games. And you start with, your leaf cards, you have your landscape powers, and you're going to collect leaves, play leaves, and then get objectives. Now, those objectives, you're going to activate them at certain points in the game. And when you activate them, that means everyone can score them.
Okay.
And, yeah, the reason why this one caught my eye, the designer, Francesco Testini, co-designer of not only Tang Garden, which I know we both played, but also the new Viticulture World expansion.
Yes.
He's part of that.
I did not know that. I did not know this was a Testini game. I'm a big Testini booster. Ever since I played, what was his game about the Terracotta Army? Which I can't think of the name of now. But
Gian? Is that how it's pronounced? Gian?
Jian Yang, something like that?
Yeah, it's Xian or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's. I mean, the artwork in this is beautiful. I mean,
Yes.
the fact that he's designed, Tang Garden, which is another gorgeous game, and then the fact that he's involved with Viticulture World, that to me is an instant buy. I mean, I need to play this game, and that's why it
Xi'an,
comes in at number 6 on our
Xian
list.
is the other
Momiji.
one.
Which one?
Xi'an was
Xi'an.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
Xi'an.
which is a
Yeah.
fantastic game too, which we've actually covered in a previous games we would buy now, because Xi'an is
Oh,
also available at Fun Again in
nice.
their discount, because they've got a lot of copies of it and it's a phenomenal game. But no, I had no
Awesome.
idea this was if I'd known this was a Testini game, this would have been on my list definitely.
Yeah. I mean, look at it, just those tiles that I mean, look how beautiful this game is,
It's
right? I mean,
stunning. Yes.
I love games like this, and this is the type of game. Again, it's gonna play not quickly, but it's a shortish game. But it's the type of game that I will get to the table often because Michelle loves these games as well. So perfect game for me and my partner, and that's our number 6 on the list, Momiji.
Okay, good call. Wow, you opened my eyes to that. I completely missed the boat there. Although I'm looking at it just now, and we come back to the browser.
Uh-huh.
I think you're too late. They're out of stock.
Oh no!
Oh no! So we make this list on the previous night,
Oh,
folks. We send it to
wow.
a friend of ours who adjudicates and makes sure we don't have any overlap, and then we do it. And apparently, since last night, they sold out.
Wow.
Oh no!
That's a bummer.
That is a
keep it
bummer.
on
Well,
your wish list, folks. Maybe it'll come
there
back
you
in
go.
stock.
There you go. Yeah, definitely. I mean, that sounds very, very cool. And so that means, Ruel, after we're done and we get to the Q&A portion in the extended edition, you'll have to talk about some of the other games that were on your list, because I had a bunch more I
Absolutely.
could talk about besides what we're talking
Same.
about right now. But anyway, okay.
Okay.
Cool. Slightly less cool, but now I'm actually bummed. You really sold me on that. Testini is the man to watch in a big
Yeah.
way. But that was still number 6, and I'm gonna have to say number 5. I'm actually surprised I'm talking about this, because I figured I'm sure this made your short list as well. Isle of Cats, Explore and Draw.
Okay, so honestly, it was on my list, but I thought we had talked about this before, but then I realized no, we didn't talk about. We actually played it.
Yes,
and
that's
we
right.
haven't talked about it on a list. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Fantastic choice.
Oh yeah.
I love this game.
Yep. Oh, it's so great. And folks, again, you don't have to take our word for it. Although, again, this is a phenomenal. I guess it's not a roll and write, because there's no dice rolling. It's a flip and write, because every round there's a grid of cards that have all kinds of different cats that we're trying to rescue. They come in all kinds of crazy shapes and sizes, much like Public Market before us. I mentioned earlier, I love a polyomino game that doesn't just have the S, the L, the I, and the O. That really makes you work hard trying to fit all these disparate pieces together. Every round, you are going to pick one column, and you have to take all the cards from that column, whether you like it or not. So that really very tension-filled, brutal draft, and then fill up your boat with these by actually drawing them in. And the game actually comes with a huge variety of colored pens, and you can really get very artistic as you're actually filling your boat up. But again, like I said, don't take our word for it. This is a phenomenal game. I love it to pieces. I think I actually like it more than the original Isle of Cats. But if you'd like to try it for yourself, do a search for Rahdo, Isle of Cats Explore and Draw, and you will be able to watch me and Ruel play this game with the audience. You will be able to download your own version of this boat, print it out in black and white, and see if you can beat our scores. And I think after you are done with that, you might want to come on back and say, yeah, that might be worth picking up, because it is absolutely fantastic. The Isle of Cats, Explore and Draw.
Yeah, after our game, I thought about it a lot that weekend.
Oh, yeah?
I had so much fun playing with you in the audience, and I started thinking, you know what? I may have to join you on that boat of I may prefer this one over the original. It's really close, but they're both phenomenal
Yes.
games. But great choice at number 5.
Yep.
Love Explore and Draw, Isle of Cats. Okay, let's move on to our number 4 games that we buy right now. This one is actually a re-implementation of one of my favorite auction games of all time. For sale, it is For Sale Autorama.
Okay.
So this one is a game that was, it's based on the same designer, and also it's
Stephen Dora, I believe, right? Yeah, Stephen Dora.
Yeah, but it re-implements For Sale. So For Sale, it's about real estate. This one's about buying and selling cars. And it's one of the great auction games of all time.
I agree.
The original. And this one adds one more step to it where not only are you buying and selling cards, but at the start you're hiring advisors, and those are going to affect gameplay
Oh,
somewhat.
wow.
I haven't seen any reviews of this yet, so this is still relatively new. And there's the advisors, you can see it right there. They're going to help you, I believe, buy or sell cards in the next 2 rounds. So instead of 2 rounds, now it's 3 rounds. And just based on the original game, I mean, this is one of my favorites of all time. I need to get this
Oh
one.
my goodness.
Of course, the Autorama.
Yeah, I thought this was just a straight up reskin. Hey, we just replace houses and real estate with cars. I didn't know that was actually adding new gameplay as well.
Yeah, I didn't either until I did a little deep dive. I was like, oh yeah, this is definitely going on the list. So yeah, you had recently just played For Sale for the first time. Is that
For the first time, yeah. The problem with For Sale is it's a 3-player minimum game. And I was just looking, maybe they switched it to 2. Nope, it's still a 3-player minimum game, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of people consider this to be one of the best, if not the greatest, auction board games of all time. And it is so brilliant. And for Stefan Dora to come back and then add new stuff, unique player powers, wow. That's a really big deal. It's interesting. When I was making my list, I noticed regular For Sale is on here as well for like a super low price, like $10.99 or something like that.
Oh.
It was so low, I almost put it on the list. And then I saw, there's this Autorama one. And there's another a spin-off of For Sale as well. And but I just assumed, they're just rethemes, and since they're brand new, they cost so much more. No, they cost more because they changed the gameplay. That is very, very cool.
Yeah, very excited about this one. That's why it's on number 4, For Sale Autorama.
Wow, nice one. Again,
thank you.
I had no idea. You caught me. I mean, I looked at these things. I clearly did not look closely enough. But my number 3, or our number 3, this one I have played, and here's the deal. Welcome to the Moon. I need to play it a little bit more, because my first experience with it was at the Dice Tower West convention we both just got back from in March. And I played it, oops, that's the wrong button. I played it with a bunch of folks. And I mean, I've played Welcome To. I'm sure you played Welcome To as well, which is a flip and write all about building up the ideal suburban neighborhood. The Welcome to the Moon, it changes the setting. We are now doing the same kind of card drafting, bingo style, flip and write stuff, but instead of making a perfect suburbia, we are trying to make rocket ships to get to the moon. And it's interesting. The game actually comes with, I think, 6 or 7 different unique player sheets. And they're not sheets. They're actually dry erase markers, so you can just use them over and over again. And the thing is, each one of these sheets tells a different chapter in our colonization of the moon. First, just getting the ship loaded up. Then making the trip to the moon. Then building the base on the moon. And every one of these, even though they run with the same core brilliant flip and write of the Welcome To series, radically changes the gameplay. And here's the deal. I played the first one and the second one. The first one is very similar to the regular game, just a couple of tweaks. The second one, which is like playing Welcome To, where there's only one street, but you are subdividing the street as you play into multiple ones. That only makes sense to people who played Welcome To, but it was so incredibly brilliant. It was all of us who were playing this. The Dice Tower West agreed. This is one of the most brilliant takes on roll and writes we have ever seen, and it completely destroys Welcome To. I'm getting rid of my original Welcome To and all the cool little spin-offs I've got, because Welcome to the Moon comes with like 6 completely unique takes on the game, tells a whole story you work your way through. And here's the deal. I haven't gotten a chance to play it with Jen yet. I really want to, because this could squeeze into my... in May, I'm going to be doing an updated top 10 for 2021. This might make it in. It is so good. Now, I will give one warning. The first mission has some really bad rulebook content. It's very hard to figure out how the first mission is played. So you have to go and download the FAQ from the publisher to even understand how to play, because they just made some really bad moves. But the second one, which was so brilliant, unlike anything I've ever seen before, and really blew all our socks off, was easy to play, easy to learn. So I expect it's probably just the first mission that needs that FAQ. But yeah, I've got to play more of this. I've got to expose Jen to it. I'm hoping to get it done this month so I can decide if it's literally one of the 10 best games of 2021. If it's not one of the 10 best, it's one of the 20 best, easily. Welcome to the Moon.
Great call. And I remember having this conversation with you, I think offline, talking about how much you really enjoyed this game. I
Yeah.
haven't played it yet, but yeah, you did mention, it was a rough first game, but after that, you were talking about how brilliant it was. And yeah, I love the original Welcome to. I also have, I think, Welcome to Las Vegas, the expansion,
Mm-hmm.
and the next one.
Yeah.
But this is the one I really want to play because everyone that's played this has said they're. It's funny. You said you're getting rid of your copy. Pretty much everyone I talked to said they're getting rid of their copy of Welcome to replace it with this.
Yeah, yeah. I
Great
mean, there can
call.
be only one, and this is the
Yep.
one. Oh, and by the way,
one.
going back, the one I've got on screen here is their ding and dent. So if you'd like a few extra bucks off on top of it, get even more savings, you can get the ding and dent, or for a couple bucks more, you can get a full regular version. That's another thing. Actually, I saw several really cool deals in the ding and dent section. But
Nice.
we're only doing 10. There's only so many we can talk about. So what is next?
And next is let's move on to our number 2, which is, I mean, one of my favorite games in the last year, Furnace. I know we both really enjoyed this one. It had to go on the list. I mean, it's a brilliant game, brilliant design. And actually, we were just talking about this during the pre-show, folks. So don't forget, every Tuesday at 12 p.m., join us for the pre-show on Twitch.
Yes.
Furnace is an engine building, resource management game with a brilliant auction mechanism. And we talked about how, this game, it's really simple to learn. I mean, it's easy to learn. It's simple mechanisms, but gosh, there's a lot more going on than you'd expect. There's a lot of depth to this, complexity, and I think it's based on that really simple auction mechanism.
Yeah.
Do you want to win the one that you're bidding on, or do you want to lose it? You only have one chance to bid on it, and if you win it, you're going to get that building to add to your tableau, or if you lose the bid, you're going to get resources that are given it. Sometimes you want to lose things on purpose, and people hose you and give you that building instead. And that's I love that tension. It's a wonderful, wonderful game.
So smart.
Highly recommend it. It's on my short list of best of last year. Furnace.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, that idea that, okay, I'm going to bid on this, but I'm only bidding 2 because I want you to pay 3. I don't want you to get this super cheap. But I don't want to win this thing because I just want to get the steal that if I lose. Why is nobody bidding? Don't make me have this thing. This won't work with my engine at all. What? Oh! It's so smart. One of the most clever new ideas. So simple. Yeah, we mentioned it in the extended show because we were talking about simple games with incredible hidden depth. And the first thing I mentioned was Go, and the second thing I mentioned in the same sentence was Furnace.
Yep.
I didn't know you were going to be put this on the list, but yeah. Good call.
Yeah, again, it's just that the complexity that comes out through the gameplay. You're building your engine. What's great too is I love this trend. I feel like it's a trend coming recently where designers are really designing these simple yet complex games that play under an hour. I mean, a Furnace takes 45 minutes at most, and it's such a rich, satisfying experience. And yeah, I highly recommend it. That's why it's our number 2 on the list.
I completely agree. Good call.
Okay.
But we're not done yet, folks, because there's one more, the number 1 this week. And I'll be honest, some people might disagree. This might be a bit contentious, but I stand by the number 1 choice, Free Radicals. I think this game is phenomenal because it is actually 10 games in one box. The whole idea is it's set in a far-flung cyberpunk future, but happily, it's a future where everybody's doing well, where humanity is on the rise. It's not all the normal, we got to copy Blade Runner and make sure everything is miserable and dour and depressing. It's a happy, aspirational future we live in. And in this game, every player takes on one role in this futuristic, post-scarcity society. And every role you play is a radically different game. One player is the farmer, who is literally playing a tile-laying domino-style game. One player are the executives, who are playing a Moncala style game. One player can be playing a deck building game. One player can be playing an engine building game. One player can be building a multi-use card game. And all players are still intertwined because there is this central board. And one of the main things you're doing with whatever style gameplay you're playing, whether you're playing, I think there was a roll and write as well. There's 10 completely different style games. But the beauty part is you might think, oh my gosh, that's going to be a nightmare. I have to if I sit down and teach this to 3 players, I have to teach 3 different different games. But it's done so well. It's so well packaged. Each one of these games is kind of a stripped back introductory to engine building or deck building or Moncala or there's a fantasy adventure running around fighting monsters and stuff. They're all really simple, easy to learn, and in fact, all you have to do is say, "Here, oh, you want to play the Moncala game? Here's a piece of paper." Pretty much, players just have to read like 3 or 4 paragraphs of text, and they know the basics of what they need to do. And so you can almost teach yourself. The main thing is the central board, which is this city, because one of the things we're all trying to do is get enough resources to build more buildings up on this big, colorful city, because then we can send our workers there and get lots more resources, get lots of points. And the beautiful thing is, often I could build a city that's going to be really good for me, that's going to help me because I want to use that power a lot, because every city will benefit one player above all other ones. I'm not going to build that one. I'm going to build a building that I know you want, Ruel, because then you'll visit it all the time and I'll get huge benefits. There's also this progress meter where you can spend your resources to just increase the knowledge of different factions of society. And the thing is, yeah, I could just increase my own, because whoever is furthest along in knowledge gets a nice big bonus. But that's a way to lose, because the rewards you get for increasing your opponent's knowledge and sharing with them is huge. It is much bigger than the points you will actually get for just hoarding all the knowledge to yourself and saying, "Oh, I got 7 points instead of 3 points for coming in second place." Yeah, great job on those 4 points. You would have gotten so many more resources if you were helping other players advance their knowledge as well, that would help you in other arenas. I love the message of this game. I love that this is a competitive game in a post-scarcity world where victory does not come at the expense of others. Victory is measured in how much can I help my opponents. And then on top of that, everybody's playing their own cool little game, and they're all well done. There's a pick up and deliver one. There's something for everybody in this box. And I think it's absolutely amazing. I have heard some people complain that there's no player interaction because none of the factions feature anything like stealing or attacking or anything like that, because that's not the future we're living in. It's a post-scarcity society. There's no zero sum. I don't have to succeed by destroying you. I succeed by helping you. Every time I have the opportunity, it's a tough choice. Who am I going to help with this? Because of how will that benefit me? It's brilliant. It's a lot of fun. It's 10 games in one, and they're all really well done. It's Free Radicals, #1 game of the month for games we buy right now.
I've been so fired up to get my hands on this and play it ever since you've been raving about it.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. You know, it's funny. So I stream on Twitch, several times a week, and I've had at least 2 people message me either during live or in a private message. "Ruel, Free Radicals is on sale right now at so and so site." So the word is out. So
Yes.
Free Radicals, I'm looking forward to finally playing it. It is on sale now here at Fun Again.
Well, I hope I don't steer you wrong, but yeah, I am over the moon with this game. I absolutely love it. But folks,
Awesome.
That's it. Hopefully, amongst those 10 games, you might have found 1 or 2 that pique your curiosity. And hopefully, you heard one of us say the secret word, donuts. And if you did, like Ruel said right up front, send an email to contest@rahdo.com, not saying the word donuts. We know the secret word is donuts. You don't have to tell us that. Tell us what game were donuts mentioned while we were talking about the other stuff. Put the name of the game in the subject so it can go into the special folder. And again, we will do a drawing for 1 lucky person to win a $50 gift certificate from sponsor of the show, Fun Again Games. Phew. Okay. All right.
All right.
Are you good to go? You ready for the post show?
I'm ready for the post show. And actually, before we log off here, I do want to say once again, congratulations on 10 years, Richard. It's a phenomenal achievement. And I mentioned this in pre-show. I want to mention it here. I got into the hobby in 2015, and shortly thereafter, I started watching you, the Dice Tower, Rodney, and so forth. And if you would have told 2015 Ruel that 2022 Ruel would be hanging out with Rahdo doing a live show, I would have said you were crazy. And so it has been an honor. And, as I tell everyone else, I learned so much from you, not only game-wise, but, tech-wise. And just, I appreciate the fact that, we've developed a friendship, and I'm grateful for that. And I love the fact that we got to meet at Dice Tower West last month for the first time in person, and our wives met as well. Michelle, she's so happy with the earrings that she bought from Jen, and So it's that's to me it's just a microcosm of or whatever of what the gaming is all about, meeting
Yeah.
people, and
Yeah,
it
yeah.
really means a lot to me that we become friends and also to do the show with you on a
Everything,
regular basis. So
everything
thank you.
right back at you. I mean, yeah, you say you learn a lot from me. Hey, you just showed me a bunch of stuff I totally missed. I am an old dog, but you are still teaching me new tricks every week. And over the 10 years, I have done a lot of collaborations with a lot of folks. And this is not to disparage anybody else. I've always enjoyed sitting down and talking to people, but you blow them all away. You are such a wonderful co-host. I'm so happy to have you every week. You always bring your A game. You always find something that I missed. You are just the bee's knees. And knowing you in real life, you are just the kindest, most gracious person I've ever met. And it is my honor to keep on doing this with you too. So,
Absolutely.
okay, Mutual Admiration Society over.
There it is.
Okay, and folks, we are going to go do the post show now, answer some questions and answers, talk about all the other games that didn't quite make the top 10. And if you'd like to check that, again, eye in the top right corner of the screen or follow the show notes for the extended view. But otherwise, Ruel, I hope you have a very good week. Thanks for showing up as always. Thank you for the live audience and for anybody who watches after the fact. And in closing, thanks to sponsor Fun Again Games. Don't forget, use the code at checkout for 1 week, R&R, and get 10% off everything to celebrate my 10-year anniversary. Have a nice day, everybody. Talk to you later. So long. Bye-bye. Okay. Aw, shucks. That got a bit schmaltzy there at the end.
Oh, it's all
Jeez,
good.
man.
It's it is what it is. We have a good time. We're friends, and we appreciate that. And I want to say it, on live or on video. It's all good. It's all from the heart, my friend.
Yep.
Okay.
Cool.
Check
All right,
out what
so
everyone's been
let's
talking
see.
about.
Let's pull up the feature chat, see if we have any questions. We have a bunch of questions, but before we do that, do you have any other ones you would like to mention? Any other games? I had so many.
Yeah. I'll just the 5 that didn't make the top 10. Village Green.
Yes, that was on mine.
Okay, Mystic Veil, the Essential Edition. I love Mystic Veil. I wanted to see what the Essential Edition is about. Imperious. I don't think people really know about this game, but it's by Grant Rodiak. He is the designer of Fort. This is one of his earlier games.
What?
Yeah, and this one, it was it's sort of like basically a ripoff of Dune. He couldn't get the IP for Dune, so he just sort of made his own.
Oh, wow.
So check that one out.
Okay.
The other ones on my list, Fantasy Realms. I really want to play that. I've only played the Stonemaier re-theme of not.
The original Fantasy Realms. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've only played Red Rising, so I'm curious about.
See, but now you have to skip that one and wait for the Marvel one to come out because there's the Marvel.
Oh,
one
they got a Marvel one coming out. What?
Yes,
really?
The Star Trek one came out last month, I guess, and now a Marvel one is coming out.
Oh my. Okay, I'm so far behind. I need to get the start. Okay, cool. And then the other one, my 5th one, was Nine Tiles Panic. It's a game in Oink Games, a real-time tile laying game. A lot of fun. I played it before, and you never see Oink Games on sale. It's on sale right now on Fun.
Oh, really? Yeah. I mean, those are Japanese import games, aren't they?
Yep.
So that's a unique thing for Fun Again, then, I guess, because you're not going to get that anyplace
I love
else.
Those games. Yeah.
All right.
What about you? What are the other 5 that didn't make the list?
I was interested in Momiji, and I didn't see the Testini, otherwise it would have made my short list. So it made the longer list just because it was so pretty. And I had Flourish on my list. I also had a Village Green, a nice companion to Flourish, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Azul Queen's Garden, I still think is the best Azul has ever been because it's Azul fused with Castles of Burgundy, and that's 2 great tastes that taste great together. And then I just had I had like almost 10 expansions. Marvel Champion Sinister Motives, Dominion Allies, Agricola Consuls Dirigens, Aeon's End Outcast, Maracaibo Uprising, Fantastic Factories Manufactions, which I am probably going to be getting 10% off and buying that this afternoon because I must have it. Concordia Solitaria, Tapestry Arts and Architects. There was a ton of stuff. I could have easily just done nothing but expansions, but I really wanted to focus mostly on games. So, there was a lot.
Yeah, I think if there was going to be an expansion I was going to include, it would have been the Tapestry one, the Arts and Architecture.
It's so good.
I really enjoyed that one.
So good.
So good.
All right.
Cool.
Well, cool. So, let's see. Now, folks, we will do some Q&A, and interestingly, you're going to see this one that comes from me, but that's because somebody actually asked, hey, I can't be there live. Could you ask this for me live on the show? And so that's why it says Rahdo runs through asked this, but I just pasted it in. Hey, Ruel, have you heard anything about Transatlantic 2? And if not, have you heard anything about Transatlantic?
I have Transatlantic sounds familiar, but not two.
Yep.
What is it?
Well, Transatlantic was basically designer Matt Gert's sequel to Concordia, which I'm sure you've heard of.
Yes.
Yeah, and the thing is, Concordia, of course, is these days pretty much widely considered Matt Gert's masterpiece. It's like, okay, it's his zenith. Matt Gertz doesn't feel that way. For him, Transatlantic was always his passion project that he would literally been working on for like 15 or 20 years or something like that. But it had the bad misfortune of coming out after Concordia. And it was like, well, it has kind of the same gameplay as Concordia, and it's about boats instead of ancient Rome. I'll just stick with Concordia. And so it really didn't catch on, but I thought it was brilliant. In a lot of ways, I think it's better than Concordia. And anyway, so Transatlantic 2 is coming along, and it's dropping the Concordia-esque hand management stuff and getting back to his classic rondels, because that's where Matt Gertz made his bones. So, yes, I'm sorry, I've totally forgotten who asked me to ask these questions, but Transatlantic 2 I'm very excited about, because I thought Transatlantic was great, and again, I was one of the rare people who thinks it's probably better than Concordia. But unfortunately, Concordia has all the expansions, so that's the one that I kept. And then see, and that person also had one other question before we get to stuff you folks have been asking. Asked, as I expand my channel, is there any consideration for general strategy discussion of games, like the Longview podcast, and John Gets Game recently did something similar on Maracaibo, and thought that my team, Ruel, apparently I have a team now, would be great at this. Expanding on final thoughts, not to determine if we like the game, that's what the run-throughs are for, but to understand the design and how things connect. I'm sorry, I forget who sent these in. Whoever suggested that, I've been having that request made from me for a long time. I've always thought it was brilliant. There are a few channels, like you said, Longview Podcast is one. So Very Wrong About Games. They're very well known for doing really deep dives on stuff. The Heavy Cardboard, their podcast. I used to listen to that, and he does. Edward does really deep dives too. I could do it, but the problem is, that required me to make really deep dives on the games themselves. And so I think that's the kind of thing that I could maybe branch out into once I retire from trying to do, anywhere from 6 to 16 run-throughs a month. There's just no time. We're like sharks. We're constantly, you're in the same boat. We're content sharks. If we don't keep swimming forward, we'll drown.
Yeah, that's right. And, as much as I enjoy those, it's just a matter of time for me. Like, do I have the time to commit to, one game like that? And again, trying to coordinate with, Shay does a bunch of stuff as well. And, Kimberly and, the new people that are
Yep.
The new channels and stuff. Yeah, it's a lot of tough for scheduling and trying to coordinate everyone. As much as I enjoy them, I don't know if it's possible at this point.
Yeah,
who knows?
It's a good suggestion.
Never say never. We'll see.
Yep. Okay, so what else have we got?
Okay. This one, that one I don't know here. Is there a theme you'd like to see used for a board game that hasn't been used so far to your knowledge?
Well, I'm not sure. Folks, if you'll notice up there in the top left corner, the more followers we get, the more money the show makes, and the more subscribers we get closer and closer to unlocking all kinds of extra bonus content. One of them is I do a top 10 with the audience. And the last time we did this, we ended up creating a top 10 overlooked themes in the industry. So that has now become my go-to, because honestly, people have been asking me that for years. What theme should we be doing that we're never seeing? And I can never think of it, because I honestly don't have that much creative imagination. I'm a creative problem solver, but not a creative inventor in my brain. As I was a designer, I always had to work with somebody else who was really just good at just coming up with completely new ideas out of whole cloth. So I'm not best suited. But do you have any?
Just on a personal level, my background, my heritage is my family's from the Philippines. I want to see more games based in the Philippines. But as I say that, based in the Philippines, and themes. There's a game Michelle and I just played called Lose on Rails, which is basically a train game set in the Philippines, turn of the century Philippines, which was fun. It was cool. But I want to see games that take on different aspects of the country or the culture. And not just typical, hey, let's whatever, do this or that. What I'd like to see, though, is not only that themes, but designers from those backgrounds that design games that are from their own culture or their heritage. I'd like to see that. As far as specific themes, I don't. Yeah, same thing. There's so much out there. Pick one. I can never get enough food games. Give me food games. Give me a game about donuts, making donuts, and the apple fritters, like the contentious donut or not donut.
That's a good point.
Part of the game.
Yeah. All right.
So yeah. Okay.
Next.
Let's see what else. Someone was asking, Arc Nova didn't hit the list. I wasn't sure what list we were talking about.
I
Arc
assume
Nova,
they must mean the top 10 we just did, presumably.
was it? I didn't see it on.
I didn't see it when I was going through the list.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
Hold on a second. Let me look. I mean, it must
be.
Oh,
you know
there,
what?
right?
I think it was sold out. It might have been sold out.
That is, yes. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
No. It's there. I would be willing to bet we probably mentioned it the last time we did this.
Probably, yeah.
Because here, what I do is I just go, hey, what's new releases? And I look through that, and then I go and I look through the Ding and Dent, and I look through the Rare, and so I don't think Arc Nova is any longer listed in their new stuff. It's interesting though. You pointed out that there's a lot of times things I would talk about, but they're already sold out when we're talking. So it's weird. There are a lot of channels doing what are the hottest games right now? I kind of think this is almost the antithesis of that, because when we get around to doing this, the hottest things are already sold out.
Yep.
So we end up talking about what are the ones that should be hot, that people should be noticing, and yet they haven't sold out yet.
Yeah, and you could actually get your hands on these games, And it's funny though. I just clicked on Fun again. I don't think this was on here last night when
Are you serious?
Arc Nova is now. It says now available. I think they just added it.
You're right. It is okay. Then this is not our fault. You are right. I just clicked it, and all right.
It would have been on my list for sure.
Yeah, it's literally the first thing listed in new releases. I swear that was not the case last night.
Yep. Because I know it would have made our list for sure.
Yeah, there's no choice about it. So okay,
that's number one. There's your post-show number one, folks. Arc Nova. I finally got to play it 2 weeks ago. It lived up to all the hype and then some. It's already top 50 for me. It'll probably go top 25 of all time for me.
Wow.
If not top 10.
It's incredible.
Going up in my mind. It was fantastic.
Yeah. So there you go.
Great.
Thanks, so that's why you come for the after show. Thank you, whoever suggested that. And you're right. I swear on my mother's grave, or not my mother's grave. My mother's still with us. She's doing fine.
The Rare Norb points out, just FYI, for sale, the Autorama has an official 2-player variant.
Whoa, official? From Stefan Dora himself? Whoa. That just got a whole lot more interesting real fast. Yep. Thank you, Norb.
Yes.
Okay, actually, okay, I am literally now going to go and put that on my wish list. Board Game Geek, and I am going to prove it. What was it? For sale auto, right?
Yep.
Subscribe, add to collection. I'm going to give it a 3 right now. I'm not going to say it's a must-have, but where is it? Forums. Is it right? Is it in
variants?
No, it's not in variants. Maybe it's in files.
Files, yeah.
Quick official 2-player variant for sale Autorama by Stefan Dora, Randall Lloyd. Okay.
Ooh.
Why isn't this in the box? Why doesn't the box just say 2 players?
Wow.
Right. So there's a remote buyer, a 3rd player. Wow, I love this. I mean, Fleet. And Fleet had its first expansion had a phenomenal auction dummy player. And so does from Tasty Mistral Games, I can't think of it now. Not Gold West, an older game from them. I have seen some amazing automated auction opponents over the years. So, wow. Okay, you know what? It's not that I didn't believe you, but now that I actually saw the letterhead, this is going up from a 3 to a 2. I got to have it now. I definitely have to check that out.
Yeah,
thank you for pointing that out.
I'm curious. I'm curious to try this one for Autorama. I had a comment from Kabuki Kid, but I accidentally knocked it off the list here.
No!
They were talking about favorite superhero board game. Was it? I lost the comment. So sorry, Kabuki. It was on there for a second.
My favorite superhero board game is Marvel Champions. My second favorite is none.
Okay,
well, no, that's not true.
Right,
I also very much like what was it called? Most Wanted from Travis Chance and was it called Most Wanted? No, it wasn't called Most Wanted.
Oh, no. What is that?
It's basically Mystery Men, the board game.
Yeah. Was it Heroes Wanted?
Heroes Wanted. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, both Jen and I are in that. And
really?
Jen is a superhero in one of the expansions, and they gave her like a big Mysterio-style fishbowl where you can just barely see her. Because she said, look, I don't really want to be on a card. And they said, okay, we'll put you in Mysterio so you can just barely see your face. And because she makes glass. So They put a Mysterio orb around her. I forget what her character name is, but her catchphrase, and she still says it to this day, is "Sphere not."
That's no way. That's so funny. You know, was it in the base game or was it?
No, I'm in the base game. I'm a villain. I forget. I'm like cured ham or something like that, and I'm wearing a pig costume or something like that, and I look really miserable.
Oh, gosh, who had that? I don't know if I had a copy of that game or maybe it was my friend. I'm gonna have to hit up my friends now. I need to see this. I didn't know you were in that game. That's hilarious. Now Kabuki Kid was asking. Yeah,
it's gone.
Yeah, it's just gone. Sorry, folks.
She's here. She can ask again. Oh wait, no. It's here. It is. It's not in the AMA section. It's over in the queued section for some reason.
Oh, okay.
All right, so here I got it. What is the best non-superhero comic book movie? Since we did not consider that as the top 3, apparently she suggested it, and she is disappointed that you did not put it on the ballot.
Comic book movie.
Not a non-superhero comic book movie. So you mean so it comes from comic books, but it's not about Caped Crusaders.
Oh.
You know, I mean, because there's so many of them. I mean, like Sin City. Although those might as well be comic book characters. But you know, like Ghost World, and I mean, there's lots.
Okay. You know, here I'll throw this one out there. I feel like this one it was basically a superhero story, but it wasn't. It was told in a unique way. The movie Unbreakable by M. Night Shyamalan, starring Bruce Willis. It was like the follow-up to Sixth Sense. Did you ever see that one?
Of course. Yeah. Yep. That is definitely a.
That's non-superhero-y type of. Yeah, I think I don't know. That's Mr. Glass, and you had Bruce Willis, and I thought that was a cool movie.
Let's see. Screen Rant says the 10 best non-superhero movies that are based on comic books. Number 10, Dredd, not the Sylvester Stallone Judge Dredd, but just Dredd. Men in Black. Although they're superheroes. A History of Violence, which blows my mind. I don't know if you've ever seen A History of Violence with Viggo Mortensen. Just like a really grim and gripping, mobster, very violent movie. Although really kind of, directed by David Cronenberg. And apparently that was a comic book. Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Oh, I love that movie so much.
Oh, yeah, I remember. Michelle and I went on a date to see that movie.
Really? That was a good date, because that's an amazing movie. That's a good date movie, actually. Well, it's a good date test movie to see how compatible you are, I suppose.
Yeah, okay, so here's the thing. Like, when we saw it, I remember we both said afterwards, it was okay.
Okay, then it succeeded as a compatibility test.
Yeah.
And if you and I saw it together, there would be no R&R, apparently, because I think it's one of the greats. 300, Road to Perdition, the Tom Hanks gangster film.
Yeah. Okay.
Blue is the Warmest Color, Sin City, V for Vendetta. Old Boy apparently is originally a comic.
Oh.
So stuff like that. Well, you know what? From that list, I adore so much Scott Pilgrim versus the World. It's such a great movie. Just thinking about it makes me want to watch it right now. Yeah, and if you watch it again, you will see that you were wrong. You were too smitten with Michelle. You only had eyes for her.
From that list, I would probably go with something like 300 or Road to Perdition.
Sure.
Or actually Sin City. I love Frank Miller, or certain parts of Frank Miller I really enjoy, and Sin City was really, really well done. Okay. Cool. All right. Thanks for the question.
That's a good question. It was worth finding.
Yeah, that was cool. What else do we have? Forest Glass says, Rahdo, do you really feel that Dollars for Donuts is one of their best designs?
It's not one of their best, but it's a good design.
Yeah, I thought it was a nice little game.
Yes.
That team was that team of designers are actually really, I mean, they're putting out some fantastic stuff.
I mean, for me, their best, I think Truffle Shuffle is their best, although I would totally understand why most people would point to Point Salad as their best. But no, we like Dollars Donuts. I mean, that was, correct me if I'm wrong, that was the one which has a really funky tile layer where it's like a whole bunch of tiles that have halves of donuts and you're trying to mix and match them. And then you had customers whose needs you were trying to meet. It was a good game. It was not great. It was not the second coming, but we enjoyed our time with it.
Absolutely. Rare Norb said, I saw Yukon Airways on Fun Again too. Would you recommend it? I have not played it. Have you played it?
Yes, I have. I remember liking it. It's about as good pick up and deliver as you can expect to get. Nice. I really, the first half of it is this very interesting worker placement, very unique worker placement approach to be getting the customers that you, I mean, you're doing a little puddle hopper, trying to fly customers around to various remote places in the Alaskan wilderness. And so the first half of the game is getting the customers and trying to kind of worker placement / draft for them. And I liked that half a lot. The second half is then managing your fuel and flying them around, and it's literally a pick up and deliver game. And I'm just never that interested into it. But as a pick up and deliver, if you like a pick up and deliver, it's well worth checking out.
Cool. Now this one, I don't know if this was left over from one of the other streams, but
Could be.
Did you ever find out why your mom wanted you to be left or right-handed, not ambidextrous? Was that?
No, that is still something I should ask, because I have no idea why. I know I've mentioned that. Maybe I mentioned it in a trivia section or something like that. I've mentioned it somewhere. Maybe I mentioned it in a podcast that my mom has told me when I was very young, up until when I was like even 5 or 6 years old, I could do everything equally well with both hands. I did not show any favoritism at all. And my mom actively discouraged that and encouraged me to become right-handed. And when I mentioned that, it occurred to me, I have no idea why she did that. I've just taken it, show me do that. It's why to this day I do most things right-handed, but I bat left-handed, I golf left-handed. I do several things left-handed, but I do most things right-handed.
When you throw a ball, is it right or left?
What would I do? I throw right-handed.
Okay.
But I bat left-handed.
Left. Interesting. Wow. Someone asked, Ruel, did Ruel forget to sneak in Arboretum? I don't remember. Were we talking about
Arboretum? Was in last week's.
Yeah. Maybe these are leftover from last week.
Could be.
Goblin says, you've said you're burnt out on mysteries. Does that count time stories? Or are you not covering those because of the change of gameplay in the current cycle?
Honestly, I have not covered any time stories because we haven't had one for a year.
Okay.
I am definitely, I have to admit, the new version of time stories, I think they should not have listened to everybody complaining about, I don't like this and that and the other. And so they just basically bent over backwards to try to acquiesce to every complaint anybody ever had about time stories. I think the new time stories is weaker for it. And I'm definitely interested to continue trying it, but we have been mostly, at first I was like, look at these cool new things. But then the more we played, you're like, boy, really miss a lot of the old stuff. Really miss it a lot. Basically, the thing that was always so cool about time stories, it's Groundhog Day. You go, you hit a dead end, you run out of time, you try again, and now you know shortcuts. Now you know what to avoid. And they completely killed that. They turned it into a regular adventure game. And it breaks my heart that they did that. But I'll keep trying. Because the other thing that it's always been special, they still have, which is you tell each other stories. Because you read a card, I can't read you the card, I have to tell you a story of what happened to me. And that's still great.
Cool. Ruckus asks, do you prefer a historic, realistic, or fictitious theme in games? I probably prefer fictitious, but I'm certainly open to historic or realistic. It's just, again, if it's well done, and yeah, I'll play it. I'll play anything,
I definitely prefer historic. I think it's great. I love, getting to walk a mile in the shoes of middle managers throughout all of time, because that's the kind of game I play. I'm always just some bean counter, literally moving beans from one dock to another. And somehow it's always the same, whatever century you do it in. But I really do like that. And I also have to say, while it's been problematic, kind of appropriative how it's been done in the past, I also am very, very impressed by how the industry is getting so much better at handling it in more interesting way, more sensitive, and at the same time more interesting ways. Because the new version of Puerto Rico that's going to come out, that Jason Perez, I think that's pretty much announced now that Jason Perez is working on that. That's where right. It's like, okay, let's not have it be about the Spanish colonizers. Let's have it be about the locals and how they build up their own economy after the Spanish colonizers left. That's an implicitly more interesting story to me,
right?
Because I've never heard that story. So just, even if the gameplay doesn't change at all, the game is better for that. So, and I think the industry is, making leaps and bounds along these lines.
I absolutely 100% agree. I cannot wait for that new version of Puerto Rico. Okay, final question of the day. Here it is. Ruckus asks, to make the question less creativity demanding, what movie, show, book, comic, video game, IP-based board game would you want to be done the most?
Right. So basically, any bit of pop culture, what would we want to see it turned into a board game? Wow. Well, honestly, we talked about that already. For me, Thundar the Barbarian.
Yeah, Thundar the Barbarian. I want there's so many of these, but I still want like the perfect Star Wars game. I don't know what it is.
Isn't that what Rebellion is? Isn't Rebellion's
Star
great?
Wars in a box? No, I want something like Rebellion's like big picture. Yeah. I want something more dialed in. I want the story.
Isn't that what Outer Rim is?
Outer Rim.
Because you're just one bounty hunter or something like that?
Yeah, but I want something besides the scum and villainy. I want to, follow a Jedi's journey. That type of thing.
So you want the perfect Jedi board game?
What's that?
You want the perfect Jedi board game?
I do. Yeah, that's
interesting.
That might be.
Thundar the Barbarian for me. And also,
great.
honestly, I'd love to see board games based on the games I made. I would love to see a Siphon Filter one, and a Pitfall Harry one, and a Fable. Where's our Fable board game? And why is there no official licensed board game of The Sims? No board game, no video game in history is more ready-made to become a very cool and compelling modern Euro board game than The Sims, and it just doesn't exist. Why is that?
That I do not understand. Yeah, that seems like tailor-made for the tabletop. Yeah. Slivers shouts out, Thundar and Space Ghost unmatched. I think that's a match made in heaven right there. That would be great.
I wish I could do a Zorak laugh for you, but I can't. I can't do it.
One final question from Goblin. Let's end on this. Favorite bad movie?
Well, do people consider Flash Gordon bad movie?
Oh, it's terrible. Yeah.
Then it's my favorite bad movie because it's awesome.
Yeah.
It is the greatest bad movie of all time.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if we talked about this before. I think executive decision.
No, you shut your mouth. Executive Decision is a fantastic movie. There's nothing bad about it at all.
It's terrible. Come on.
Why? What is bad about it?
It's so okay. Well, obviously it's unbelievable, but just that whole.
Well, yes, every major blockbuster action film is unbelievable. You have to. I mean, every Tom Clancy inspired action thriller is unbelievable. But
it's my favorite. Well, that one and what's the other one? There was another the movie Face Off. Nicolas Cage and John Travolta. I mean, that's pretty bad, but is
it bad if they know it's bad? If they're leaning into it?
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's where you can totally question it. Is it bad if they really know? Because I know they were hamming it up and they're having fun with it. But those are some of my. What are some of the other ones?
I don't know if that's true for Flash Gordon. I suspect they might have. They at one point just in the courtroom of Ming the Merciless, they play a game of football, and they had to know it was silly, right? They had to know that they were being cheesy and campy, right?
Yeah. They at that point, I would assume so. Oh my gosh. Okay. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it for the questions. And we are that's all, folks.
All right, then we'll be back next week. We'll be doing a Kickstarters for May, and then the week after that, we will continue our countdown of all time. Woo-hoo.
Yeah. Looking forward to it. All right. And everybody, again, thank you for joining us. Appreciate you sticking around for the pre, post, and the regular show
and
here.
Everything in between. Yes.
Everything in between. Yes. Okay. Let's
Let me find the button. Let me find the button. All right, board game channels. What have we got here? Team Covenant is back. I went and looked afterwards, and one of you, when you the other day we rated Team Covenant because we mentioned them before, and I said, "Hey guys, tell them Rahdo's a really big fan." And so somebody did go there, and I watched afterwards. And said, "Oh, I guess that's nice. Who's Rahdo?" And I thought that was awesome. I absolutely adored it. And I think he's a board game guy. I don't really know. That's very nice, and that was very down to earthing. I very much appreciated that. Let's see here. Do you like anything? Oh, and anybody in the chat this time? Last week we were trying to figure out who, and we said ask people in the chat. Hey, does anybody have any suggestions? And the chat were making suggestions, and then we promptly ignored that. Oh. And then they're saying, why did they even ask for suggestions? So I'm listening, folks.
Okay, let's listen to folks in chat.
Yes, if you have any of these board game themed channels that you like, we will raid them.
Let us know in chat, folks. By the way, Ruckus wants to point out, Flash Gordon is not a bad movie. It also has an awesome Queen soundtrack.
One of the greatest movie soundtracks of all time.
I gotta agree with that. Yeah, that soundtrack is amazing. Yes, I've listened to the soundtrack more than I've seen the movie. So
yep.
No one has suggestions. I see someone playing Horrified. His name is James Chats.
Horrified is a good game to watch.
Yeah,
it's a good co-op. It's a very story-driven game. So everybody, go say hi to James. He's got 15 people. He would like to make some new friends. Tell him Rahdo sent you. We're gonna start that raid, and you can figure out which supervillain he's trying to defeat. Do you like Horrified?
I do like Horrified. I think it's.
I don't understand. Horrified.
Yeah.
I look at Horrified and it just seems so simple. I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, it's pick 'em and deliver basically, so it's not,
Yeah,
definitely not.
yeah. So I'm predisposed not to like it. That's my problem. You're right. I just didn't even think of
and
that.
the monsters are unique. They each have
That's
a different
true.
like, thing that you need to do. It's cool. It's a gateway game. It's fun.
Well, anyway, you folks, I'm hitting the button now, so go decide for yourself. Raid! Go, go, go!
Go, go, go!
And off they go. And let's see if it works with James.
There is the raid.
Oh, he just got raided. He said, "Yo."
Oh, I love it.
He doesn't know who I am.
The old,
he said, "Rando runs what? Who?" But then he says, "Okay, so he's on the spot. He is very excited. We have made somebody's day. That is good." Okay, he has a really nice setup.
Yeah, looks sharp.
Yeah. So I hope he puts on a good show. Hope everybody has a good time. And we're gonna hang up now.
Yep. I'll talk to you later. Thanks, man.
Alrighty, bye-bye.
Bye.